I'm having a time, guys. Having a time. Oh, hey, I think we're streaming, actually. Oops.
Hey!
Hey!
I can see me making my bed!
Yeah, it's bed making time with Bobby F. J Town. How you doing?
This is where the magic doesn't happen.
Hey! Where's my awesome pictures of Eamon for me to use?
I have a new one.
You have a new one? Yeah, the ring announcer one?
Yeah.
All right, let me see what I can do here. Let me get Bobby on Perma Bobby. Perma Bobby, right there. We'll get that all in the right spot. And then we're going to need a Riz Cam coming up. No, Chrisley knows best. Bite it.
Whoa.
I do not give a shit about Chrisley knows best. Holy crap. I hate that that's on before Raw sometimes. Makes me sad. Yep, see that. The looking at Bobby's camera is that same feeling I get when I can't see the lion in the lion's den at the zoo.
No echo.
You're saying, is there anything in there? Maybe it's feeding time. I don't know. The sign says there's a Bobby in this pen, but I can't find a Bobby in this pen. How you doing, Eamon?
Not too bad.
Fantastic interview with Matt Light for Indie Mayhem show.
Yay.
So, get confused because we're talking about stuff, and of course he's already done stuff with Rob Van Dam. He's opening for him when he does his comedy tour, and afterwards he's like, "Yeah, I'll see if I can get Rob on for you." I'm like, Rob. Who did we just talk about? That was Rob, and yeah. One of those things. All right, so we got doubled up there, and now we got to find the awesome Eamon pick. The awesome Eamon pick. See, that's live there. So hello, streamers. If you're anywhere else, you should be at live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com, which is actually at wrestlingmayhemshow.com now. So it actually looks like the site it's supposed to be, which is fantastic. Which means you can subscribe to us right beside where you're viewing us. Just setting some stuff up. The hell? Slack, Firefox. Where'd my browser go? Don't need that on anymore. We can get rid of Final Cut. If it lets me. Oh, that was earlier shows. Oh. They do stuff right here. Yay, I got the address right. I redid the stuff in the corner. If you see on the stream, it has the Patreon address on it. But I did it for AwesomeCast, and it just says Patreon.awesomecast, and it didn't work too well, so I had to fix it in post. So Bobby's still doing things.
Couldn't find my headphones.
All right. Let's see how that sounds. I was getting some sketchiness.
Yeah, Bobby, talk again? Hello?
Oh, you're going to have to rejoin.
Okay.
Oh, I realized something I forgot to do.
What did you forget?
Eamon, are you busy?
No. Just
can you?
Is this better?
Can you just snag a picture? Can you just snag a picture and do a what did you learn from wrestling on the Facebook group?
And pin a picture of anything?
Yeah, and pin it.
Is this better?
Yes, Bobby.
Strangely, Bobby, it is better.
Huh?
Strangely, it is better.
Okay, good. Everything's better with Mentos.
That's not a catchphrase.
Bobby's
know.
the fresh maker.
Mentos, eat fresh.
Bobby, keep it fresh.
Nope, that's not it either.
4 out of 5. Doctors prove Mentos.
Yay.
Mentos, the best a man can get.
Wait,
Mentos, anything less would be uncivilized.
Is this for real? Apparently, Scarehouse tickets are available at Costco.
What?
Yeah,
Can you buy them in bulk?
I guess so. They're the RIP tickets, like the $25 RIP tickets.
Oh no, Finn Balor fainted.
What?
Finn Balor fainted
Oh no.
on my desk.
Oh, I thought you meant real. I was like, what?
No, I rearranged my desk because I got one more Funko than my wall would allow.
Mm-hmm.
The FYE Macho Man one.
That changes everything.
And that changed everything, and I had to move Eddie Guerrero off the...
Changes everything.
Then I moved the Brock Lesnar Street Shark.
Bobby FJ Town, you have a title already.
What?
You have a title.
Oh, I was on last week, that's right.
Already set up. And I didn't delete, because apparently I deleted everybody else's.
Ready to go.
I don't know why I deleted
That's 'cause
Eamon's.
You knew that those Brock Lesnar $35 shorts would bring me back.
Oh, man, we got stuff to talk about.
I'm going to mention it at the top of the show, and that's probably it. Riz!
Bring it around.
Yeah,
Bring
hey,
it around.
Hi.
Hi, Riz.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, my Riz.
Hi.
Wait, are we starting?
What?
Yeah, we're on already.
We finished.
Yeah, we've already talked about. We already
what did you learn in
recapped.
wrestling this week,
We already recapped Clash of the Champions. What are we doing? I don't know, Bobby. What are we doing? Yeah.
That looks so weird without like facial hair. Just realized that.
Babyface Riz.
Where'd it go? Somebody stole Riz's beard. Bet you it was that no good Carmen San Diego.
What?
Bitch.
Whoa.
Whoa. Somebody had some
Whoa,
tough times with Carmen San
First of all,
Diego.
Bobby, first of all, if there's one bad person or bad people in Carmen San Diego, it's Double Trouble.
Double
Because it has to take two of them to do it.
trouble.
Double.
Carmen
Double,
San
double,
Diego.
double.
Those were the
Did
days.
you guys see the new cards for Slam?
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm sitting on like
Clash.
400,000 gold.
I have.
Clash of the Champions cards.
I know.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to buy some stuff.
And if you check your cards, you might have a purple Becky Lynch, a maroon Becky Lynch, and a lime green Becky Lynch
Ooh. What does that mean?
for free. I don't know. They just showed up.
What does that mean? I like how Eamon's still audio Eamon.
Well, I want to be safe. I want.
The disembodied voice
Are
of
you
Eamon.
naked right now?
No, I'm fine.
Are you,
Are you-
naked?
Are you naked?
Hey, that's the wrong show, Sword.
It's
Both of you.
It's fun.
We're on the pre-show. We're allowed to.
Yeah.
That's true.
I listened to them today, and Tom Sibley had one of the best quotes, and they just totally glossed over it.
Wait,
I
which
don't
one
think
was that?
It was the ECW one when he was talking about the pit bulls, and he's like, would I have had to seen Pitbull 1 to understand Pitbull 2?
Wow.
I laughed so hard. I'm sitting in the middle of work just giggling about it, and they just totally glossed over it. Like that, they didn't even notice.
I was listening to it on like on the treadmill, and there was one part where I almost like stopped and fell off because I was laughing. I forget what happened in it, but oh man.
I'm going to have to start a new rule that you're not allowed to talk about podcasts that are obviously better than ours on the show.
That's not necessarily.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that, Sorg. Well, technically, they're not in the Rolling Stone, so it's not.
They're
that
not in a
bad.
Rolling Stone. Yeah.
So we're even with them.
I talked to a Rolling Stone podcast person, Cole Cabana, on Friday,
What?
saying hi.
You should have him appear on our show.
Didn't he?
I'm not going to bother him with our show. He's a very busy guy.
Didn't he? Wasn't he on our show like before?
No, Colt's never been on our show. I tried getting him on the show like a while ago.
Or did he just do a plug?
Maybe.
No.
I remember hearing his voice talk about the Wrestling Mayhem show.
No, just other guys sound like him. I'm sure.
That's true.
I mean,
I do, however.
he's got one of those voices. He's go.
I want to.
Podcast.
I want to either go to Steel City Con and have Chris Jericho record something to send to Matt McCarthy, or something like that. I want to do that, but I don't think it'll work.
Dude, Lita.
Jericho will probably charge an arm and a leg for recorded messages.
Yeah.
But if it's Matt though,
Then if
Mike.
you do that, how about you send it to the Wrestling Mayhem show, Bobby?
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah, our priorities are all out of whack over here.
No, but I mean,
No, let's put over these guys, these Hollywood guys with their little Hollywood
They could
podcast.
probably call Chris Jericho. Like,
yeah,
say,
exactly.
like,
I'm sure he knows
Meanwhile, there's us. I had to use a picture for Eamon because
Wait, which picture are we using?
it's the one you shared, you fucking asshole.
yeah, it's the what?
the one you shared.
Wait, it's the one that this is the one I'm supposed to use, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
the one that Riz posted on the Facebook group saying for people to caption.
I was trying to
Oh
figure out.
yeah, and then
Because
I
it
put the
looks
pri-
like you're singing, Eamon.
I put the prices right.
It does
thing.
kind of look like you're singing,
No,
actually.
what I clicked?
Yeah, yours was the Price is Right, Jeff.
Was it? No,
Yeah, well,
no, mine was Let's Make a Deal.
same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the
It
what's behind
it
the.
comes on an hour before.
What the
Come
point
on, an
is,
hour before.
hold on. Wait. Let's get into gold. All right. We're into gold now. I want to adjust my stuff so this isn't so blown out. So we're looking at the picture with Eamon there. You can see it right there. And
Let's just analyze this.
okay. So this is you we're announcing. We talked about an Indie Mayhem show last week. I think it was 129. If anybody wants to check it, Josh Alexander, walking weapon over there, right? And so we got him doing this. And yeah, it's a great kind of action pose of you talking. That's great. Now, Bobby,
I'm not
Bobby
making
Riz,
fun of it, Eamon.
Bobby Riz,
Yeah, Riz. Okay.
Bobby Riz, what did you do? What did you do?
Riz
What do
did
you
it.
mean? What did I
Riz
do?
did it.
What do you mean? What I did? What did I do?
Riz-
It was me showing the people that Eamon is actually doing things,
Yeah,
Right,
more than I am.
right.
and
Also true.
and of course, the first thing I mentioned to Eamon was if he was wearing jeans.
Yeah, I know.
It
Riz.
looks very. I don't know where it came from, but it looks like it was jeans.
They're dress pants.
I know they're dress pants. They look dressy, but jeans can be dressy too.
They can be.
Denim suits, y'all.
hmm But Eamon, I'm not making fun of you. I'm happy for you, even though that the next one you're going to kind of looks very scary. So
What looks scary about it?
yeah, I mean, I saw pictures, I saw videos.
Wait,
I'm
what?
scared for you, Eamon.
Wait. I saw the videos, the one that you shared, right? What is that promotion?
What's so scary about that?
I'm scared for you, Eamon, because you're
Why?
our little baby. I don't want you to get hurt.
He's not going to be wrestling.
You don't know that.
Hey, I almost lost a videographer like twice during IWC
that's
Saturday
true.
night. So
That is true.
But Eamon, I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud of you, little buddy.
Well, thank you.
Even though I can't see you flipping me off right now.
My
Yeah.
caption was the what's behind door number 1. It's a pair of shorts at the value of $35. That was fun.
Riz, what was your caption?
Which one
Oh, I
was
forget. Let me see. Wait. Oh, you're having a photo. Let me double check here. I have no idea what my caption was.
So even though so one of the nice things happening here, I know you guys are kind of making fun of like the game show host thing and everything.
No,
But really,
Yeah, go ahead.
like Eamon, like even if you're looking to do other jobs along this line, like that's a good like it's not obviously wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could like
Eamon,
if there's like
Eamon is living our dream right now.
Eamon, if there is a local cable access game show that you're up for, use this picture. I think you'll get it.
You know they have a lot
No,
more
that's what I did. Okay,
local
I did.
cable access game shows.
Yeah, like the one on Mallrats.
You know, like Let's Make a Decision. Or
So
the value is correct.
so mine was the Jerry Seinfeld aspect of it, because it does look like you're saying.
Oh, it is a little
and
bit.
what's the deal with Grand Metalik?
No.
What's the deal with Grant? He's not big or metal.
It sounds like
Discuss.
yeah, it's.
Oh,
But Eamon, you're living our dream right now.
I don't know about that.
Wait, your dream's to be a ring announcer?
Well, he gets to mingle with Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, your dream's to
Yeah,
mingle with Zack Sabre Jr.?
Or if you're
Well,
Sorg.
No, Bobby, no.
Sorg,
We're not. No.
Sorg, honestly, who here wouldn't want to mingle with Zack Sabre Jr.?
I don't know, man. I always thought I
What?
wanted to hang out
You
with.
don't know?
I always thought I wanted to hang out with Raven until I did, and had to go get him ice cream. Which
What about
apparently,
Raven?
who told? What was the thing? Something about somebody had to go do a gopher experience with one of the higher end wrestlers, right? And they were telling me about it in front of Dombrowski, and then I'm like, well, there's the one time I went to get ice cream for Raven, and Joe's like, I told you he was going to say that.
What flavor of ice cream did Raven want?
It was strawberry. It was through the Eaton Park drive-through. Like dude had like.
Raven's all of a sudden just like, I could use some ice cream. Let's go.
Well, no, he already had some, and he had finished it. And he's like, I could go for some more ice cream. And he's like, and he hands me some money. He's like, go get. He's like, and he calls down to the Eaton Park, which is like right next door to the hotel, and yeah.
He was probably high as
And
fuck.
he's like, I don't know if he was. I don't think so, but listen. Raven was always one of my favorites, and Raven is just he's Raven. I don't know. I think Raven is exactly what you would expect in person.
What about Raven, Sorg?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
What about Raven?
did they run out of ice cream? And he's like, "What about me? What about Raven?" And they instantly made.
I mean,
the
he was
strawberry
nice
ice cream.
enough, but he's like, he's it can be a little difficult. The best part was, Joe's asking all the questions for Montreal Theory, and he's like, who came up with these questions? What a maroon! Like the part where he calls Joe Dombrowski a
Something
maroon.
Raven would say.
It's
Yeah.
something he said.
And then he turned into Bugs Bunny.
It is literally something. He's like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. What a maroon. And then like the parts in the interview where he calls Joe Dombrowski an idiot like multiple times, it's pretty great. And I wish we did like a blooper reel of it.
And then Joe went on to eat ravioli with Kevin Nash.
I can't remember if this is before or after that. I think this is after
probably
that.
Before, I think.
I think it was after.
Oh, was it after? Oh, that's right. It was after.
It might have been after. I don't know. Eamon, did you come before or after I interviewed Raven?
Oh God, I wanted to before. Yeah, I had to
Maybe.
before.
Maybe, whatever
What are you
resolution that was. Well, cross-reference. When was the night? When was the Night of Legends with Raven, and when was the resolution with Kevin Nash?
It's got to be before.
I don't know. Let's go to the big board and find out.
I don't know.
Roll the tape.
I don't know.
Show me potato salad.
You guys watched the Legends with JBL last night?
I did not.
I feel like the We Watch Wrestling guys are going to go nuts over that.
What was it?
It
It
was
was National.
It was Hall
Oh,
Nash.
was it?
It's
Whoa.
Hall and Nash, sir.
Whatever.
Did he talk about Kelly Kelly at all?
No Kelly Kelly.
No,
It
no
was all
hour
about
of Kelly Kelly
It was
talk
all about
how-
WCW and the Click and all that kind of stuff. And
I just saw the clip where he was like, "Well, they say I wasn't over, in WWF. But let's be honest, nobody was over." Like, okay, it contradicts everything you said in
Any
the past or
Papa
whatever.
Those are good.
I hate anything. I just can't. I have an aversion to anything click related.
Whoa.
Why?
All right,
Why
all
did
right.
Shawn Michaels?
Raven, the Raven
Yeah.
Night of Legends was 2010, and it appears that the Resolution was 2011, sir.
Oh, okay, so I'm wrong.
I can't remember why we were arguing over this.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, but yes, Rezzy and Shawn Michaels.
Why didn't they change
Wow.
Graham McCallick's music?
Oh yeah, what?
I liked his music for
His
the.
music was great. And,
I was distracted about how Sin Cara he looked, but
He looked
Well-
good.
let's save that for the show.
Wow.
What? Do you look? Oh, we'll get it on the show. We'll get it on the
We're getting the show.
We got it on the show.
Ow, my neck.
You guys want to do a show?
hey, let's do a show.
You see
Bobby's next, okay?
You see the
Bobby's neck's hurting.
you see the lineup the next couple weeks?
What lineup? Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
The
Good job,
Russo
Sorg.
Rivals.
and-
The two gentlemen that I offered my services to, psychiatry wise.
What?
Yeah, you
Well,
I offered to be their Dr. Sheldon.
oh, okay. Well,
Shelby.
we can get into that on
Or
the
Dr.
show. then.
Shelby. Dr. Shelby, yeah.
So keep in mind we'll be like a personal. So Chris LaRusso and Andrew Palace will be joining us. I'm talking with LaRusso online, and we will,
Palace.
and I'm like, he's like I should do something for Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold for your Patreons, like kind of a what did he say like Chris LaRusso, day in the life with Chris LaRusso. Chris LaRusso gets gas. Chris LaRusso does this. I'm like, dude, yes, dude.
I like it.
I
I
think
like
he
it.
was kidding, but I'm like, yes, let's do this.
That's what we should do. Like once a week, have just a day in the life of one of us.
Of
guests.
one of us, that's not exciting. Like if we like somebody like that, I think is more interesting. I think more people would be into that, in
One
general.
of us, Sorg.
One of us.
Hey, I went skydiving today.
What? No, you didn't.
No, I
What?
didn't.
No, you didn't.
No. I love we're like, no, you didn't. What the fuck?
So like, fuck you.
Fuck that noise.
I wore a glider suit.
I am like flying squirrels.
Just call me
Honestly,
Rocky.
I want to see that though.
I am like flying squirrel. I am like flying squirrel.
You want to see me sink like a rock in the ocean?
The other Indie Mayhem show concept that I think we're doing next Thursday. So it should be. I think I'm still going to get that into next Thursday's thing. We're going to go to Chair Shot Realities taping, and Justin LaBar and Justin Plummer are going to have a debate in advance of their match, their Team LaBar Team IWC match at House of Hardcore.
That's gonna be fun. I can't
So
wait.
it's going to be kind of partial kayfabe, partial not kind of thing. Like we're going to be on the line. So it should be fun. So I will be moderating. And it's fun because apparently
We have a ring building exercise, Sorg.
ring building, bring up Diamond Joe. I think I would just randomly ask if either of them have built a ring and not point anything else out about the question at all.
Well, here's the thing: if you leave it up to if you put the phone lines open, somebody's going to ask that question.
Well, I don't think I don't
probably
think they
gonna
got
be
the
Diamond Joe.
capabilities to just have open phone lines, but there will be like, hey, internet, do you have questions?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I'm still kind of angling to get some more people from House of Hardcore. I did throw out the wish list of Tommy Dreamer and Ethan Carter. So we'll see what happens with
Sorg.
that. We'll see what I'm going for. I'm swinging big, guys, and we'll see if I survive Lucha Underground Marathon Part 1 on Monday.
Oh, I can't wait for grave consequences.
We'll see if I last to grave consequences. I am so you realize I'm going to try to take a nap because I actually have a job at about 2:00 that Sunday. I want to try to take a nap before Clash of Champions, and start at midnight, go to 7 p.m. and then watch Raw.
Wow.
This is what we're trying to do. This is what I'm trying to do.
Let's start show, Sorg.
Yeah, let's start the show.
Hold on, I think I just accidentally started an update.
Oh, what the hell?
Right on top of Riz's face. Oh,
Fucking Sorg.
Riz, update face.
Sorg.
I'm updating Riz's face.
Sorg, can you see
I'm
me?
going-
Hold on. I gotta wait for the thing to load so I can stop it because the computer's so old. Hold
Roll these
on.
dice.
Ah.
Will Sorg be able to stop the update?
Click.
Pick a number between 1 and...
20.
Yeah, we'll go with the 20-sided die.
20.
6.
I don't know what that means.
Clash of Champions. No stupid legend thing like I mess up every year.
Oh no, now I'm sad.
Clash of Legends.
Clash
Now
of
I'm sad
Legends.
I'm sad that Sorg won't fuck that up every year.
Well, also Finn Balor's not in there.
Finn Balor.
Yeah, neither is Asuka.
Or Asuka.
Oscar.
All right.
Well,
I
I'll
think
see.
I have.
Who else does Sorg mess up with?
Will Ospreay. It's Xavier Jr.
Are you guys ready to do a show?
Yeah.
Are we
All right.
updating on my face still, Sorg?
Partially, and it's gone. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good now.
My face. Wait, my
Update in
face
your
is gone, or
face. There's an update in your face.
All right, and we got a new chat live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com if you guys want to pop in there. Actually, can you guys pop in there and say hi or something just to populate it for anybody that drops in?
nope.
If you get a chance.
I
Thanks,
was looking
Riz.
up Funko
Thanks, Riz.
Pops and stuff.
All right, we're going
Of
to go to
course
the show.
you are. So of course you are, Bobby.
All right, and 3, 2... Nope, false alarm. I didn't hit record in this other thing.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Hey. Get those out of your system.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sorg.
Gosh,
Sorry.
Garnet.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show 538. I am Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter, ready to bring the mayhem to you in your face across state lines, across enemy lines around the world. We are the wrestling show that will end ISIS. That's where we went. We got a crew. We got a crew here tonight. A lot of them localized. Of course, the Riz here in the greater Pittsburgh area.
Hi, Sorg. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, good sir.
That is fantastic.
Also with us
Let's
out
talk
of
about wrestling.
Johnstown, Pennsylvania, he is the man with the Funko Pop addiction, Bobby F.J. Town.
Way too much Funko Pops.
Way too much.
The reason I'm back this week is WWE updated their shop this week with $35 Brock Lesnar shorts. Come on!
And no Jimmy Johns. I ate a Jimmy Johns today, actually.
Yeah,
Jimmy John's isn't that bad.
Is it bad? Is it bad that I can't
No,
go
it's not
to
that
Jimmy? No. Is it bad that I go to Jimmy John's and can't not think of Brock Lesnar?
Why are you going? Wait. Why are you going to Jimmy John's? They come to you, Sorg.
No, I was down. I had to
order
take.
online.
Well, yeah, I don't think they'll order. I don't think they'll deliver where I live. But I was downtown. I was mobile, and there was. Listen, it was either Jimmy John's or Brugger's Bagels today. Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. That sounds
Good
awful.
choice.
or a
Good
Jamba
choice.
Juice. There's a Jamba Juice down there, and I was just like, "Ooh, that sounds exotic." Also with
always
us in the
makes me
most
think.
exotic of locations of Dallas, Texas, he will tell you what a good deal is. It is Eamon Payton, the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling.
Get it? Because I look like a game show host in that photo. God, great segue. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk about wrestling.
You just need a tiny microphone.
Yeah, you do.
No, well, it's a tiny microphone on like a long.
Yeah, the Bob Barker style, yep.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s.
Of course, this is your Wrestling Mayhem show. You can join us here live every Tuesday at live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com. Brand new chat room, brand new landing page right in our Wrestling Mayhem Show dedicated page. So thank you, everybody, for joining us there. Everybody supporting the show every week. And, of course, you can check everything out at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Subscribe to this show. Subscribe to the Indie Mayhem Show. Subscribe to the Midweek War, to the Raw wrap-up. We've updated our subscribe links there on the right there. And you can also support the show through Wrestling Mayhem Show on Spreadshirt or ProWrestlingTees.com/WMS. Or, of course, you can drop us a line at the email address. That's the wrong one. There it is. That email address.
Good times.
Are we doing it now? Good
Yeah.
times.
Times
Yay,
good.
internet
You kind of fake
lag.
this out there, Sorg.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or the hotline at 412-206-WMS0. You can subscribe to us on Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and video versions on YouTube and Facebook for Wrestling Mayhem Show. Also, you can support us over on the Patreon page, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. A big thanks to our supporters, including, of course, Bo Diggity. Woo! I had lunch with Bo Diggity yesterday. I had gyros with Bo Diggity yesterday. So there you go. Bought him lunch. One of the advantages of being a Patreon supporter. And also big thanks to our friend Ed Burke. Also at the $1 level, and of course Alex Carr is out in California, Occupy Pro Wrestling, power to the Smarks, and Bobby Snyder. Who the hell is that?
Never heard of him.
It's me.
Oh,
that's why I can't afford those shorts.
Oh,
no, it's not
he's
Bobby. No.
Dedicating that money to the Wrestling Mayhem Show instead of $35 Shop Zone branded shorts. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby, for your sacrifice for the show. We really do appreciate it around here.
Per month.
What's that? One Funko Pop per month?
One Funko Pop per month.
You're giving $1 a show. How much are Funko Pops?
No, per year.
Per year? Actually, that's probably more accurate. Yeah. One variant Funko Pop per year is what you could give to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
It costs to be a Hot Topic exclusive, Sorg.
And what do? We do WMS Gold. There's some extra stuff, including we talked about some prospective stuff coming up on the Indie Mayhem Show. Some of our guests coming up. Some of the things our guests said that they might do for us for the show in the near future. So we'll see if those pan out for some very interesting ideas on the table. So let's get into it, of course. Hey, did you know there's another pay-per-view this weekend? Welcome to that era. Welcome to the crap. There's another pay-per-view era of pro wrestling in the WWE. But it's coming up. It is Clash of Champions. A name I'm not going to screw up. A name I'm not going to screw up. So happy. And it's looking pretty good, honestly. Every title on the line, including the brand new Purple Cruiserweight belt. Very excited about that. But we'll get to the Cruiserweights in particular in a little bit. But we have Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens. We talked a little bit about their interactions on Monday Night Raw and the Raw wrap-up last night with Mad Mike on the horn there. But guys, I'm excited for that. That is like a Ring of Honor dream match happening in a WWE ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we finally get to cheer for Seth Rollins now, which that's cool.
Yeah.
We're finally allowed to cheer for him.
We're allowed to? Even though we're probably going to cheer a lot more for Kevin Owens.
Well, yeah, but it's
either one.
It's nice that we're allowed to now.
It's nice we're all on the same page. And speaking of that, the chance for Seth Rollins, that everybody got the memo, we're all supposed to cheer for him now, it was real strong against Rusev last night. And that was pretty good. Even again, as we discussed last night on the wrap up, the maybe didn't make much sense, but super face run in save jump off the cage that Seth did at the end. Yeah, very solidly in the good guy role right now. But still being Seth Rollins, like Seth Rollins has not changed, right?
In theory, yeah. I like it. I like it's different. It's different, and we've needed different.
Is it different?
When Michael Cole is the voice of reason to Seth Rollins, you know he's a good guy. Like, he got on the announce table and like Michael Cole all of a sudden's like, Seth, you have a championship match coming up. Don't jump.
Bobby, you're getting a little bit of a sketchiness on your audio. I don't know if you need to reconnect or something.
Here's the thing with that little jump. It looked less like a jump off of a apron, off the apron. I think it was probably like maybe half the size of that on the floor. So it was kind of weird with him, with the announce team, like hyping it up like he's jumping off the top of the Titantron.
He's 10 feet above the ring.
Oh my God, you're going to die! And he lands on his feet and nothing happens. It's like, ta-da! But yeah, I can't... Speaking of that match, I can't wait for it. I mean, I seriously can't wait for that match.
I'm looking forward to definitely. Kevin Owens is doing amazing stuff, just being Kevin Owens. I don't know if we had mentioned it last week on any of the wrap ups or anything, but I love, much like I was a big fan of Bully Ray, just pretty much out yelling the commentary team during his matches over the last year in the Dudley Boys, because a very Bully Ray thing of him. I enjoy Kevin Owens running commentary, and that running commentary that I picked up on last week became part of the package at the beginning of Raw. The part where "You're the guy, huh? You're the guy, huh? I don't think so." Like got picked up, and obviously they did a little bit of enhancement and isolation on that to put it in the promo. But that's just fantastic. Absolutely
or the best
fantastic.
the best one from last night, I think, was pointed out on Twitter when Rusev interferes towards the end, and he just yells, "Matska something!"
Yes, absolutely. Like, it's just having fun with it, right? No, yeah, I'm really digging that kind of stuff. So, but okay, like, I don't think there's anything else to say, but we're going to enjoy that match. Let's get to something that's maybe a little more questionable. United States Championship, Rusev and Roman Reigns. We get it again. Hopefully, an actually full on match. Even this has been okay with me.
I'm kind of liking this match.
I'm cool.
Like, I didn't think I was
good.
I didn't think I was going to like it because it's Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns has slightly grown on me a little bit. Like he's still not back from from whatever he took, but he's starting to climb that ladder again, and you're seeing it in some of those matches. Like the one against Kevin Owens, it was pretty even of push and pull. I mean, it was more Kevin Owens, but it was more even than you think it would be. And this match with Rusev is going to be amazeballs, even though Rusev is kind of still the face, right?
Yeah, he's a face. Definitely.
I mean, I obviously, I enjoy Roman's wrestling. It's I think it's just crowd reaction that's beyond the point of redemption. But I think this is smart, and really, I'd be happy if Roman won this because I mentioned before, and some people kind of dismissed me last week. But if Roman wins this,
he's on the title picture.
He's not in the main title picture, and I think that's what we need. He doesn't need to be in the main title picture, especially after they didn't say that it was for the main title, but the whole Sheamus Cesaro stuff, going to be for a title opportunity. Hopefully, it keeps Roman out of the main title picture, which I think is just what you need to do right now because you just need to refresh the whole thing,
And Roman's never had the problem of being able to wrestle. He can always wrestle. I mean, he was always good in the ring.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes his promos can be a little dry, but that could be because they're scripted.
And if he's in the main, and if he's getting the reaction that he is getting, and he's in the main title picture, which is the main story of whatever show he's on, that's going to drag the whole show down, I feel. So I think it's a smarter move to put him in something secondary because it really kind of makes it, it makes everything seem kind of easier and a little,
The thing that stinks, he is great in the ring, and there's been obvious problems with promos. Like that. I think the most common fan will be like, "Yeah, it's not great," but you kind of really do need to be the full package, especially if you're on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he isn't, and I don't know, like I think each guy needs to find that mix. Like some guys can probably take written stuff and do some good stuff with it, right? And other guys have the comfort level and the skill level that they can just say, all right, 2 points, okay, let's go. Like say Chris Jericho, right? Or Kevin Owens. They're obviously being them and doing their thing, right? Roman's isn't. And we're not in an era where Roman's doesn't get to go out there with a Paul Heyman or a Bobby Heenan or anything of the sort that gets to cover that up.
Mm-hmm.
Because back when nobody was able to talk, especially these big monster guys that we really wanted Hulk Hogan to beat, you had somebody that would make me believe, like a Bobby Heenan. And it's just, we don't have that opportunity, and I think the guys, I think it screws up their opportunities a little bit, right? I really can't tell you if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I think all of us, we've had these conversations before, kind of pine for the day of managers, like real managers, not like your wife that'll spray gunk in your face in the opponent's face.
Now,
There's a place for that, but that's all we got.
well, first of all, Lana
Okay,
is the anti same thing you just said.
right.
She's the anti example, where she's actually the quote unquote mouthpiece to Rusev, and actually is doing a damn good job being the mouthpiece to Rusev, even though she's barely out there and doesn't talk barely. And she talks, but she's not, fit. At least she's not. But last night, I don't think she was there until the very end.
Right. Some of the story has kind of not needed Lana, right? It's been action that kind of spoke for itself, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby?
Your point about Maurice. One could argue that the Miz has actually gotten worlds better because of Maurice.
Yes.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
He needed that girl on his side, to prove that he was the Hollywood A-lister. He needed his wife with him, his gorgeous wife. That's just his character, and it just brought out it brought out the Miz back.
I mean, we have had over the years Zeb Coulter being in this position to, I think, very great success with the All Americans, were they? The Cesaro and
Real Americans.
Real Americans, to that effect, less effective with the Alberto Del Rio about a year ago. That was just an odd thing that they did. And of course, Paul Heyman, and even the Paul Heyman doing it for both some guy named CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, but even trying to do it for, like, say, Cesaro, Curtis Axel, doing those things. Right? Oh, you did do Ryback for a while, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. That kind of thing.
Didn't he propose to him at one point?
Yeah, there was like a weird kiss on the cheek thing that happened.
But with those, you get with 3 of those, you get one Abraham Washington.
Oh, jeez. Didn't he have a talk show on the stage or something?
Yeah, with Tony Atlas.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Yes.
I was one of those. If it just went a little bit longer, it would have been so bad. It was great.
But remember when he managed the primetime players?
Oh yeah.
And how bad that was?
That ended up real bad.
Real bad.
Real bad.
Like Kobe joke bad.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how that ended.
Yeah.
That's right. Like the time
They need to bring back Armando.
Armando was just
friend
on
of the show.
Armando just popped up on Twitter a little bit ago talking about something. Like it was weird. It was Armando talking about, like, I don't know, the DMV or something, and I'm like, what's that doing in my feed? But anyways, we miss you, Armando Estrada, 2-time friend of the show. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, more show, of course. By the way, I like that our tag team and our women's champion are simply referred to as the Raw Women's Raw Tag Team, SmackDown Women's SmackDown Tag Team, not some World WWE kind of mishmash thing like they did before.
Like the universe.
Yeah, well, that sticks out actually. I'm glad we're on that. And we're branding these things right. So Raw Women's Championship, of course, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, who is not going nuts over this thing.
I'm surprised they did the triple threat. I'm surprised they made it into triple threat.
Does it feel like it's it was unintentional?
Yeah.
Like, did it feel like that double pin kind of was a mistake, and then they tried to rewrite it basically?
I feel like
it's supposed to be that.
But it worked out so great because Dana Brooke basically tattletaled on the finish of that match, and it backfired on her, which set up a really classic storyline with those two.
I really do love what they're doing with Charlotte and Dana. I think, both of them, but I think Charlotte's really established herself as a really great heel, and I think that's what you need in situations like this. It's great to have great women's wrestling and good matches, quote unquote, but you need some heat and you need really good heel. And I think Charlotte really brings that to the table.
It's a classic lackey situation, isn't it? It's the J&J security. It's the I have that lackey that isn't terribly great or have enough confidence, because that's why they'll do things for me, whether they're successful or not.
Last night reminded me of just the Pinky and the Brain. Like those two, like I know it's like a comedy, but just to have like that kind of segment going between, like one's trying to be really serious and the other one just messes it up for somebody.
Hi, Charlotte. Did you notice the pin? Hi, Charlotte. Did you notice they both got pinned?
Yeah, Narf.
What are we gonna do tonight, Charlotte?
Dana, you idiot.
But even like 2 weeks ago, when like it looked like Dana was gonna turn basically on Charlotte, like that got a pop.
Yeah. And it's going to set up Dana really well.
And I think that's a testament to like what they have going for this storyline, because you wouldn't really see. I can't really, other than in-ring wrestling, when is the time that like a crowd really pop for women like that? Like,
right, and I think and it's nice that it is more than just the three girls that we know are going to kill it out there, right? Mm-hmm. That Dana was kind of a. How are we going to deal with her? How's she going to do? Again, one of those that we question whether she's one that needed to bake a little bit longer in NXT. But
no, she still does.
Okay, maybe a little bit. But in the meantime, she's kind of on the side here, so that's fine. But yeah, when she does do the turn, it's just going to be fantastic. So
I know we're talking about the Raw ladies right now, but on SmackDown tonight, they had a really good contract signing between Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Really good.
Yes.
Really good.
And that's something that's come up from NXT too, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That we're getting these contract signings not just for the big belts, and we're getting good stuff like this, and like it really felt like an NXT contract signing, right? Mm-hmm. So that's fantastic. Like it is infecting upwards, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
The best part was Daniel Bryan at the beginning saying nothing will happen at this contract signing. Everybody booing, and he was like, "Don't boo that."
He's having so much fun in this position.
Yeah.
Raw Tag Team Championships, New Day against Gallows and Anderson. I think it'll be a great match. We may not have been too happy with how we got here, but I think we'll have a great match.
It's getting better.
You know?
Yeah, Anderson and Gallows were actually really good this week.
Yeah.
They redeemed themselves.
I think I don't know. I think it's in a weird place.
You think so?
Because I think Gallows and Anderson kind of have to win, but also like it's weird. It's now weird since the New Day had passed the whole big like we've held the belts for a year now. Mm-hmm. Like so when they lose, it has to be something like really big. I feel and I don't know if this is it.
And here's like the way you said it made me realize that if the New Day wins, then what? And if Gallows and Anderson win, then what? Like I don't know which way they're going to go. With
you get a rematch.
Either
you get a rematch.
And what if the rematch? What if they win the rematch? Then what?
Then
who's going to take the charge? Who's going to be
Enzo and Cass, and then New Day does some hilarious segments with the Shining Stars for a bit. I mean, there's places to go here. There's places to go.
There's a lot of tag teams.
Yeah,
there are a lot of tag teams. I just feel like if the New Day is going to drop those belts, it has to be big. Like I say, honestly, I don't think this is the place to do it. Like, obviously, I think Gallows
hold off until Survivor Series,
or even like Mania of the Rumble, like because it's got to be something big. Like it's like for the New Day to have that match with Gallows and Anderson at the pay-per-view where Big E got injured, so it was like, oh, are they going to lose the belts now? And in like 4 minutes in like a DQ, and like, to have this match, and SummerSlam was a year since they won it, and it's like I don't know, like something about it's like. I'm sure the match will be fine, but it's just like, which way do you go? Because I think either way is going to be kind of disappointing in a sense. Because like you don't want to, give Gallows and Anderson another loss.
Yeah, you brought them in for a reason. They,
But also, like, you got to make the New Day losing be big. Like,
Right. I think this is there'll be some shenanigans. This is a placeholder to get us to the next pay per view.
Yeah.
On the booking side of it, like, but still,
how weird is that it's another placeholder though.
I'm hoping we still get a great match in the meantime, though, right? So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens.
We're gonna get a great match. It's just a weird build up to this match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with the comedy aspect to now.
Right. It is a bit, definitely some missteps here. You know what has definitely not had any missteps is this Sheamus and Cesaro match 7 in the best of 7 series. I don't know if I'm celebrating this series, but I'm celebrating Sheamus's fine role in the Ninja Turtles sequel that came in the mail today. So there's that. You know, he looks good when he's horny. There we go.
I was hoping they would announce it would be a best of 2 out of 3 falls match. For the final match.
I know. The dreaded Mad Mike's voice when he was talking about that last night. It's like, Bobby's going to be right. I'm so worried. Hey, there's still a few days. There's still a kickoff show to throw that in there.
I got a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a mini question. A medium-sized question. What title would you want to see either man go after this match?
World title.
Hopefully world
Or
title.
universal title.
Yeah.
What title, next question, what title will WWE give these two men?
Maybe the U.S.
title.
No. I think you guys...
I can see.
You know what I think? And this is going to sound strange coming from me. I think that somehow, after those two, now you got me saying 2 matches, Bobby. Fucking. But after those two guys fight, Mick Foley's going to come out and say that the title that he's gonna get
is the TNA Grand Championship.
Is the Tag Team Championship.
And you guys got to tag together.
Yes.
That'd be right.
You know what?
That's right up where Mick Foley is right now.
Mick Foley is,
I don't hate the idea.
I don't hate it either. I like both guys.
Listen. Cesaro was tremendous in the Real Americans. Sheamus as a whole with those guys in the United
League of Nations.
League of Nations.
Yeah, the United Nations.
We 3 of us just said League of Nations.
That tells you how great the League of Nations.
My favorite wrestler is Kofi Annan.
So maybe it is a thing where they pair them together and see what chemistry happens with it. I think it could be interesting.
I'd rather Cesaro just get the main title.
Me too. I'd rather see
and Kevin Owens
again, and that's another Ring of Honor dream match. Is let's see Cesaro and Kevin Owens go at it for the big belt.
Also Cesaro's got a great story.
Yeah,
you know the idea that he was super upset that he didn't get drafted quicker. You know, and that he feels like he should be in the title picture. Like, and he's kind of right. Like, you know, so I think there's a lot you can do with that. Sheamus. Sure, I guess, but
sure, why not?
Sure. Also,
and Sheamus
go ahead.
Held the title before too.
What's that?
You know, Sheamus has held the title before too. I mean, he's no joke.
Right.
In the last year.
Yeah, in the last year.
Right.
How weird is that?
Right. Money in the bank, baby. Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, because I can't get enough of any of this. Like,
I'm so glad I've gotten to eat my words on Chris Jericho.
Yes.
Jericho's gotten really good.
You know how we always say hashtag Eamon was right?
Do you remember?
Okay. Hashtag Eamon was wrong.
Do you remember?
Don't get me wrong. I had like 10 years of like.
No.
We're getting you wrong, Eamon.
Do you guys remember how awkward it was when we got to Suit Jericho? Like, look at those first couple of shows where the feud with Shawn Michaels started, right? And it was super weird and awkward. He came out during his stretcher match and was trying to cheer him on or something, and it turned into what it turned into. And eventually, a Nitro Girl got punched in the face for reals.
But that was my favorite feud.
Yeah, she was a Nitro Girl.
Wow.
Yeah, look it up.
Him and Shawn Michaels feud was like one of the best ever.
Oh, absolutely.
It was really great. It just, I don't know, it became that point where Jericho always came back for the Rumble. And then would always leave by the summer. And then always come back for the next Rumble. And then he just had, like, the stuff with Fandango was weird, and, like, him coming out, that period where he would come out and not say anything.
Shut your mouth. That was amazing.
But it led to nothing.
Amazing storytelling by Jericho.
But what did it lead to? Like, I don't even remember who he feuded with for that.
Didn't feud with anybody. He came back. That was when he came back. Remember when we had all this, like, remember that little girl that was sitting at a classroom?
The swing sets.
And the swing sets. and then after he came, that was when he did that.
Save us,
like
Y2J.
His first time he came out.
That was different.
Was when he just stood there and started laughing, and then walked out of the ring. And then next week he came out, started crying, and walked right out of the ring.
Listen. Chris Jericho is allowed to. He's completely allowed to troll millions of fans on Monday night at this point. Okay, he has the right.
No, I mean, fair.
All on his list.
It just was my favorite, period. And I don't think he, I was very down on him until recent, because it's his stuff that he's doing now. I think it's very much a callback to like 1998 Chris Jericho. It's so good. It's very, very good. He seems refreshed. He seems like somebody who can really, be entertaining again. And that's cool.
Awesome.
You know what you're gonna get, Eamon? It.
Wow.
It's good. It's good. It's good stuff.
Well, and of course, I don't know if we have anything to say about the kickoff show. Nia Jax and Alicia Fox.
Oh, I got tons to say about this match.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Did you guys see that Jinder Mahal backstage segment with Alicia Fox?
No.
Where Jinder was trying to recruit Alicia for his, like, whatever thing he's doing now, the peace thing. And Alicia Fox was just going crazy about how he's hitting on her. And like,
I had to find this.
And then after, like, during the end, like, Jinder's starting to walk away, and Alicia Fox is just following him around, going, "Wait, we're going out. We're gonna go. Just say go out. We can go out. Come on, let's go out. Let's go out." And like her hair's all flying around.
All right. We're watching this on the break.
Yes.
Jinder, let's talk it out.
I think it's really I like what they're doing with Nia and Alicia. It also, someone pointed this out on Twitter, I forgot who, but it's also really sad to look at this match and realize that, Alicia can't hit her tilt-a-whirl backbreaker or her Northern Light suplex.
Yeah.
The only two moves she's good at.
Yeah.
Hey, that Northern Light suplex is amazing, though.
It's really good.
One of the most beautiful suplexes in the
There's a reason she does it 5 times during a match, because it's the only good move she does. But, yeah.
I like Alicia Fox.
No, Alicia, she's a former Divas champion.
She is.
That is a fact. That is a fact. Guys, so we're about to talk about a few guys that are very impressive, and a few of us have experienced in person on the Indies. There's a little thing called the Indies. And there's a little site called indiewrestling.us where you can pick up... No, that's Bobby. That's Bobby. That's the wrong button.
I'm sorry.
That's the Bobby button. Hi.
Bobby.
Bobby, tell us
Am
about...
I around the Indie?
Bobby, tell us about the Indies.
It's a movie starring Harrison Ford.
What? No.
Where...
That's Air Force One.
Okay. Get off my ring.
Oh, okay. We're going to try this again then. IndieWrestling.us, where you can check out the best in indie wrestling from the International Wrestling Cartel, Renegade Wrestling Alliance, Vicious Outcast Wrestling, and so much more. Documentaries, including Finding Zach Gowen and the Montreal Theory. We're just talking about it on Gold. Find out some things about Raven on Gold. at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show if you contribute at the dollar level. But we got some great titles there. Of course, the very European, The Travels of Claudio Castagnoli in IWC. A title I was very proud of myself in naming until we sent a few copies to High Spots, and I went to go see if the listing was there, and apparently they had used a very similar title and graphics on their series about Claudio Castagnoli. So, but it's there, and it's IWC's rendition of it, and some great stuff in there. Also, just finished the editing, and we're going to probably render it overnight and post it here on Wednesday as of this recording. IWC's Rumble in Royal Valley we got to do over the weekend. Amazing fans bring the weapons match involved. People made paintings for them to use. There was a full-on guitar, not Guitar Hero, guitar and shaving cream. It was pretty fun, and of course the final match between Britt Baker and Ray Lynn. Britt Baker, of course, popping up. Speaking of Nia Jax, she's one of the first ones that Nia Jax destroyed on Raw. And, of course, popped up at the Ring of Honor Pittsburgh show this past Friday. Great stuff around the Indies column by our own The Riz, and giving you the updates of
That's me.
the indie wrestling there every week. IndieWrestling.us, IndieWrestling.us, IndieWrestling.us. Sign up for the newsletter, get a free show, and get updated on the Wrestling Mayhem show and Indie Wrestling updates. And we hope you'll enjoy it. I have been getting orders on the site from China, Korea, the UK. I swear, judging by this guy's name, I know he's not in America, so he must be in France. It is worldwide. The international wrestling cartel is truly international at this point because of IndieWrestling.us, and so are our friends in RWA and Vicious Outcast Wrestling. So it's been really cool to see that response that's been happening. Quite literally, more people are purchasing shows from both RWA and IWC since we took over in 2012.
Nice.
It has been growing exponentially, and it's really cool to see indie wrestling getting supported at the ground level. Like literally seeing it being supported when I see this, especially the guys that look like they're ready to binge some shows when they drop in there and spend a few bucks in there. And we got cheap shows. We got cheap full shows from a few years ago that are just right for snagging and spending a Saturday night. So
still waiting for that Disco Inferno versus Raven match, Sorg.
I gotta dig it up. I gotta fix it. Some of these videos did not survive the transition very well, so we gotta work on that. I keep getting the people at least once a year. I get asked, "Hey, do you have the match from 2002 where Eddie Guerrero was in IWC?" And I'm like, "That is a thing," which apparently it was.
We'll get into that one off air, Sorg. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I know. Like, we're not even sure if that's like. I think it was like a memorial show or something that maybe one of the bookers was involved in. It's not us. All I know is we don't have it. We do have like late 2003 stuff that I know are transfers from VHS, like a lot of early CM Punk stuff actually. So, very, very interesting. Cruiserweights. I didn't even mention cruiserweights like Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander, who I've had the personal pleasure of working on shows with these guys on there for Super Indie and IWC. Last night on Raw, Riz, we saw Cedric Alexander just a few weeks ago in Chikara.
We did,
and there he was in a 4-way match on Raw. The cruiserweights are here. I don't know where the Cruiserweight champion was on Raw. He was on the pre-show, but they did represent in that match. We talked about it a bit last night on the wrap-up, but man, this is our first glimpse. And plus, of course, the finale happened for the Cruiserweight Classic. I know you guys talked about a little bit. Eamon did. You guys haven't.
I have. I did.
Riz did.
Riz, were you on that? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
There.
I mismembered it. So, Bobby, Cruiserweights, go.
They went from Mick Foley coming out with a card introducing all of them
to silence, by the way.
Silence. Yes, the crowd was silent. Partly because probably most of that crowd didn't watch the Cruiserweight Classic. Most of that crowd probably doesn't even have the network. They're just there as casual fans usually. To "This is awesome" chants. Like the whole arena was chanting "This is awesome." Heck of a match between all of them. I was surprised that Brian Kendrick won. I was happy to see that. I don't know why they renamed his finisher.
Oh, I got
and
some
why
ideas.
Grand Metallic got new music.
Listen,
I like the Captain's Hook name to it.
when you're when you're running a Connor's Cure campaign for the month,
Yeah.
I feel like the bully choke's a little too much.
Be a star.
It's like and correct me if I'm wrong on this, or if you guys have a different opinion on this. I thought the match on Raw was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was cool. It was cool to see guys on the independents that we've seen make it to that level, and I thought they did a really amazing job. I don't know. For me, did the match feel kind of slower to you? Like compared to
certain parts.
Like definitely compared to some of the matches in the Classic.
Honestly, it was for a newer audience.
Mm.
Like it wasn't for like the people who have the network and watched the CWC religiously, like us. But it was for the casual fan, and if you see them going crazy from start to finish, they wouldn't know what actually happened in that ring. So they work a little bit better.
I feel like a little bit of that, and I also feel like a little bit of, for at least two of these guys, this may be the biggest audience they've been in front of.
Yeah, that's
kind of my take on it too. Like this is the hey, you're gonna go on Raw, and I know you've never been on like Raw. You've been in like our little Full Sail thing down here, and I don't know if you guys have done Japan and stuff where you might have actually had big arenas or something. We know our Ring of Honor doesn't. But yeah. So go out there and kick some ass, and maybe they have new agents, that are involved in this.
I'm wondering if it was kind of like an agent kind of thing or something like that. Like I said, I really did enjoy the match. I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but it just felt to me like a bit slower than some of the stuff we were seeing traditionally with those guys on the Classic. And I think maybe it was a case of certain directions, I guess, or certain heads of, obviously, I don't know if Triple H is heading up Raw, so I think maybe, different environment, different, kind of thing. I just thought about it because there was an interview that came out with Tyson Dukes, who was one of the competitors in the Cruiserweight Classic, and they talked to him kind of about like the process of like the whole Classic and stuff like that, and how it all worked and stuff like that. And he was very open about like the whole WWE's process with a lot of things. Like he talked about how like there were certain things that they couldn't do, like particularly, and some people barely got by doing. Like for example, they didn't want. They're big nowadays on like moves where you fall on your head or take like head bumps or whatever. Like he was saying they almost didn't let Tozawa do his German suplex because they're very stringent on that kind of stuff. Luckily, they were able to kind of work some stuff around. He said like that. During the Brian Kendrick Kota Ibushi match, he's like, I'm sure that Burning Hammer spot was not approved, like, because it would not have gotten approved. But maybe it is. I don't know. Like I said, it was very good, but I think maybe with this different environment, I wonder if this is going to be a continual thing.
Yeah. There's going to be growing pains, and there is going to be stuff where they're not going as balls to the wall. They have all these policies and everything, which in the long run are good policies for longevity of the people out there in the ring, I think.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about Ring of Honor, but we saw there that I know we will never see in WWE, and that's a reason for you to go see the Ring of Honor in comparison, right? Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, we are having matches on NXT, CWC, now a bit on SmackDown and Raw pay-per-views that are on the level of those matches in the storytelling, in the in-ring action, and don't need to do those potentially unsafe moves that blow our minds on the indies, where people are just working their asses off trying to get to one of these levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I see it as trying to think of a good example here, but like minor league baseball, like you have all these guys going balls to the wall nonstop, trying to get up to the big leagues.
Mhm.
And then once they get there, they still do the same stuff, but since they're there, they try to bring it down a little bit, or else they'll burn out and fade away. See Yasiel Puig this year.
Bless you.
Yes, I know. I'm talking sport balls. So yeah, of course they're going to slow it down a little bit, but it was still pretty damn good when you looked at it.
Yeah, totally.
That's just my point.
Entirely. Well, looking forward to it.
That's why I'm like that's me just like looking back like that.
This is just walking away. That's you dropping the mic. Yeah, that's you dropping the internet. Done. Well, either way, we're gonna have that. Like I said, T.J. Perkins and Brian Kendrick, which I guess we didn't talk about a little bit on the preview, but I think that it's going to be pretty tremendous. I think I see a little bit of, and I don't mind that Brian Kendrick going into this thing because he is kind of the known factor a bit as far as WWE goes.
He's a veteran.
And a name that people will remember. Like, how many people out there are like, oh shit, Brian Kendrick, I remember that guy. Where's he been?
Remember him?
Yeah, remember him.
Watch South Park this week.
It fits a little bit of it fits a little bit of that nostalgia.
Remember Chewbacca?
So they're just doing South Park references. Sorry, go ahead.
Done. South Park Cruiserweights. What is this show about? But either way, I think it's a nice bit there.
I like how they're doing with their title picture, because like for the world title, you had, well, not even for the world title, you had John Cena versus AJ Styles. I mean, I know that's not for the world title, but it was new school versus old school. With New Day, it was New Day versus Team 3D. With the IC title, it's still The Miz, but you had The Miz facing off against, who was his last opponent? Apollo Crews, right?
Yeah.
So now you have, for the Cruiserweight title, a new era versus an old era. So they're trying to get two of these guys together and clash. And it's going to be awesome. And yes, I didn't mean the pun there, but it worked anyways. But it's going to be amazing.
So everybody's excited for the Cruiserweights.
Yes.
This needs to happen.
Of course we are.
This needs to happen.
I can't wait until Jack Gallagher shows up, though.
Gallagher.
And that's
both can be.
And that's the thing. Like I've been concerned. We've been concerned about this, and I think we've been marginally disproven this about the culture shock of certain characters, wrestlers, girls moving up to Raw, and you're like, is this gonna work as well up here? See Adam Rose. Like, are people gonna get Adam Rose? But instead, we were getting our Charlottes, our Baileys, and our Sashas, right, and our Enzo and Cassis, right? The Cruiserweights, I think, are a different animal, and I've been worried about it. I shouldn't be worried about it. I'm worried about like today's Raw, because obviously this was the thing that worked so well and got me hooked on WCW. Hey, random person from Mexico, and we'll have a guy that tells us all the background story about what's going on there, and here we go. Like, that needs to happen. Corey Graves is that person, by the way. Has anybody noticed that Corey Graves is our Mike Tenay of this generation, because he's wrestled with most of these guys. And hell, I don't know if you saw me freaking out on Twitter last night when I'm like, guys, there's two super indie participants in Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander in the ring on Raw for a title shot for the next pay-per-view, being called by another mainstay in IWC, our local thing. It's something that we're popping for, but still, like that idea. This isn't FNW people. This isn't Ohio Valley Wrestling people. These are outfit in Pittsburgh, PA. You know what I mean? Coming through, and they had done some of them were kind of pass-throughs or whatever the case may be, but still, like, there's that legacy there, and that's really cool.
By FMW, you meant FCW, right?
I meant FCW. Corey Graves.
Okay, because FMW is the deathmatch promotion in Japan,
Well,
and I would really love to
no.
see that happen.
What I got confused is FNW. I believe was locally was Far North Wrestling, which is Corey Graves' father's promotion in the area. So, so that's why that kind of flipped in my head, I think. So, either way, looking forward to it. Any last thoughts on the cruiserweights before we bust out of here?
One final thought. The only thing missing besides the smooth voice of Mario Ranallo is Daniel Bryan screaming, "Oh my gosh!" after every giant move.
Mamma mia!
And Mamma Mia. Yes.
Hey, fuego! Oh, guys, it's going to be so much fun. Wrestling's so good right now. Geez, SmackDown was good. Just a side note, SmackDown was pretty good tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Raw has been pretty good. I mean, Raw. I think Raw is as good as a 3-hour program can muster. Right?
Yes.
Competition.
Right. It's
within themselves.
Fantastic. And even that week when everybody was like, Raw sucked, holy crap, the old day. And it's like, listen, guys, don't let that bring the rest of Raw down. It was pretty freaking good, you know?
They burned that footage.
They burned the footage. It doesn't exist anymore. That Raw averaged out, okay? That's why we do how much was watchable as our question for the Raw wrap-up. All right, guys.
For that episode, can we get it re-edited so it's just robot voiceover over us? All 3 hours was watchable.
Well, in the Hulu cut version, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I want to give a shout-out to our friends here locally that have been fueling podcast night with Sorgatron Media for about, over 2 years now. Our friends at Slice on Broadway, and I know not everybody's in the Pittsburgh area. That's Bobby again. Hi, Bobby. Tell me about Slice on Broadway.
Pizza.
Yeah, I screwed up my numbers, so Bobby gets the promotional switch,
pizza.
unfortunately.
Oh, sure. Go to the fat guy for the pizza.
Listen, Bobby, how is that pizza?
It's really good. I've had it before. It's amazing.
There you go. Anecdotal evidence. They're here in Beachview, as well as PNC Park, the home of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Our buddy Mad Mike was in town a couple of weeks ago checking it out. And, of course, over in Carnegie, PA on Main Street. Check them out. Good friends. SliceOnBroadway.com. PGH_Slice on the Twitter. Slice on Broadway on the Facebook. And the Instagram. Supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza for a good while now. Our good friends fueling the show. A lot of guys on the Patreon are fueling the show and helping us pay some of the bills. And meanwhile, these guys are fueling the show, like literally fueling the show with pizza and getting us through the night here because it's podcast night. We're not going to make anything. Come on. So thank you so much to them. We'll get back with the big question. I want to talk about Ring of Honor and what we learned in wrestling. We'll see you in a sec.
I'm watching an eBay auction.
What was I talking about? I wanted to talk off the air about
generally.
I can't remember now.
Like, didn't I just say like I'm going to talk about it off the air?
I don't know.
Remember Chewbacca?
Well, I'm going to watch this Alicia Fox video.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I dropped it in the chat room over on live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com. So let's see what this is about. It's almost 2 minutes.
Wait, I don't
Remember
see,
Chewbacca?
I don't see her. Like, I don't see the chat. Kind of. It says only 2 are online.
Yeah, I don't think it leaves the back channel up. Like,
Okay, 2 minutes left.
there, post it again.
2 minutes left, guys. Think I'm gonna get it? Probably not.
What Funko Pop are you getting, Bobby?
Mom Ra from Thundercats. I got Chitara this weekend.
Bless you.
Thank you for you said bless you. Remember Thundercats? Remember Chewbacca? South Park.
Sounds dirty.
What does?
No, it really does.
What? Remember berries?
No.
1 minute.
Bobby, you're about to get sniped so hard.
Oh, I got sniped over the weekend so bad. I was so pissed. So pissed. I'm not in the lead, mind you.
So, okay. All right.
Yeah?
So that was a thing. I don't know how I feel about it. Yep.
I like Alicia Fox.
Yeah. It was just like
I like crazy Alicia.
It was just like a crazy, super goofy thing. So I love it. It was good. No, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. All right.
By the way, Sorg, did you like the video I posted on your wall on
That's
Facebook?
bad.
What?
Just one with the $36.
Oh, God damn it, Bobby. What is it with that number?
No, it just went up to $36. That's how much the bid was. Yeah, I'm
Did
not
somebody
kidding.
like just double yours? Is that
Somebody,
what you
it was.
said?
I was gonna bid $26 and it went 36.
Yeah, Bobby, cut your losses now.
Oh, I'm out. Yeah, it's done.
No, Riz, I haven't seen your thing that you posted on my
Okay.
So
wall.
that means
Yeah, Sorg.
Garrus is mine.
No.
Garrus?
Yeah.
Like,
Mass Effect.
you haven't played Mass Effect.
Yes, I have.
You haven't played all of it. You didn't play all of it.
Oh,
I don't know. Everybody keeps sharing the same He-Man's 30 years old video up. 33 years old video.
man's 33 years old.
Hey, Bobby.
What?
Remember He-Man?
Remember Skeletor? Remember Chewbacca? That's my favorite part they say.
But yeah,
Remember
Sorg.
Chewbacca?
The video I posted is of our good friend Chuck Taylor, trademark.
Oh, him singing.
Singing?
It was him
Yes.
singing from the show, right?
It was a different show. It was a different
Oh,
show,
okay.
but
It was his debut show, I think.
Yeah, I saw it
Yeah.
popped up, started, and I just wasn't in a spot that I could listen to it. So
it was the same song that he sings. It's so beautiful.
All right, big question.
Do you have one?
Who's your favorite old school cruiserweight?
Okay, I like that. I like it.
Old school cruiserweight.
Who is your favorite old school cruiserweight?
Remember Cruiserweight?
Remember Dean Malenko? I didn't even watch this episode of South Park. I'm just gonna.
Me neither, but this is kind of fun. Remember? You have to answer that way.
Remember
Oh, God.
Who's your favorite cruiserweight?
Cyclico?
Cyclico.
That wasn't his name,
Cyclope.
Cyclope.
Remember Valo number
Cyclope.
5?
Remember La Parka?
Remember
Who was the
El
cruiserweight?
Dandy?
Remember Super Callow?
Remember Fragilistic Doge? Espialidocious?
Remember Jason Jett?
What was the one guy?
No.
That's tail end of WCW.
Remember Silver King? Was
Remember
that his name?
Psychosis.
Remember Das Wunder King?
Oh no! Coffee down!
Remember
Coffee down!
Berlin?
We got a spill!
Oh no!
Oh no.
Sword spill.
Remember Bounty?
What?
Paper towels.
Oh. Like, what the fuck? I thought it was
Wow,
like,
Bobby.
remember Kid Romeo?
Remember Violent J?
No. Oh.
He doesn't count.
No, he
I
doesn't
know, he
count.
was little. He was little.
He was little. He was little.
Remember the Fat Chick Thriller? Like awesome.
Yeah, Mike Awesome, that's right.
Remember Lieutenant Loco?
Remember Mecca?
What?
Mecca.
Mecca?
Stasiak.
Remember
Oh,
Vampiro?
That short
wasn't
time he was with Stacy
Stacey.
Keebler.
Remember her? Remember Miss Hancock? Remember Chewbacca?
Oh,
Uh, remember Ernest the Cat Miller?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
All right, you guys ready?
Sure. Remember Jamie Noble pretending he's Asian and the Young Dragons?
Oh, jeez.
Remember Ski Wee?
Skiwi?
What?
Or
Kiwi.
Quiwi.
Kiwi.
Whatever
Kiwi.
it was.
Wow.
Remember Kiwi?
Remember Lodi?
Remember when Vince Russo overdubbed the Luchadors promos and it was super racist because he thought they wouldn't get over for speaking Spanish?
Remember Prince Ikea?
All right.
We're not,
All right.
we're not going
All right.
anywhere here.
All right. We're going. 3, 2. It is time for the big question. We got the crew here: Eamon, Peyton, The Riz, and Bobby F. J-Town. Big question this week, guys. I think it's appropriate. So we're just talking about the new generation of cruiserweights. Who is your favorite old school cruiserweight? And old school, of course, I'm going back to, maybe some old ECW, maybe some WCW cruiserweights that a lot of us, I think, were kind of, got hooked on back in the day. Who is your favorite old cruiserweight? Who? Who's got one?
I'll go first.
All righty.
It technically counts since he was also in the Classic this year. I'm going to go with Tajiri.
Nice.
Tajiri was a big favorite of mine. I started obviously watching him because of his comedy stuff in WWE. That's kind of where I first saw him, and then I looked back on. Well, one, he wrestled amazing in WWE as well, but like some of his old ECW stuff is amazing. It's really there's a reason I think he was a real cornerstone of that show each week. I think he was featured at least once a week on either ECW
Versus Super Crazy.
Normally versus Super Crazy, but yeah, he was really amazing and really always a solid hand. I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What about you, Riz?
Come back to me.
What about you, Bobby?
I don't know if he counts. He was a cruiserweight. He's my all-time favorite wrestler. We talked about him earlier in the show. I'm going with Chris Jericho.
The Lionheart, right?
The Lionheart.
Yeah.
Yes, the Lionheart, Chris Jericho. Then
He's fantastic.
he just became a spoiled brat, and the rest was history.
Wasn't that a great time where we weren't so sometimes there were just matches to have matches in WCW, which you can say maybe it's just because they were so disorganized or whatnot, but like a guy like Chris Jericho that was like super crazy baby face came out and he would lean back in the crowd all the time and that was okay, and you could support a guy like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And look what he became.
Yep, exactly.
So
Day one.
I'm gonna go with mine, and this is not for any reason that you would normally go by when we're thinking about cruiserweights, but certainly La Parka.
Remember the Parka?
Because that was the guy. Like it was one of the ones that was being a He-Man fan, it was like, oh, it's Skeletor, and then he started doing the chair thing and a little dance on the chair, right? And that was always super excited to see La Parka.
He was a bigger dude too, wasn't he?
I think he became a bigger dude. So,
slowly over time.
yes, age, it does that. Maybe not so much in the weight limit. Even seeing like lucha posters around LA when I was out there earlier this year. I marked seeing La Parka or La Park or whatever they're calling him now on those posters, and I don't even know if it's the same dude. I honestly don't know. It's probably Doink or some crap like that. But anyways, so yeah, La Parka. I'm going La Parka. Although don't get me wrong, I appreciate the hell out of all the rest of them. All your Guerreros and Malenkos and Mysterios going at it every week. So, what about you,
Chairman
Riz?
of the board, Sword.
What's that?
Honestly,
I said chairman of the board.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, there's one name that comes to mind, and that is the very last cruiserweight champion before this one.
Oh God, Riz, I hate you.
Really, Hornswoggle.
Ah,
No.
No, but for
no.
real, I was like back in the Attitude Era of WWE. I was a really big. I don't know why, but it was a really big Taka Michinoku fan.
Oh yeah.
Taco was great.
Taka was awesome.
Michinoku driver.
The Michinoku driver, just amazing. Uh, did he? I think he opened the King of the Ring, the tight with the with Kai and Tai at one point. I think that's what he did. But just he would. Yeah, it was him. It was Kai and Tai versus the Headbangers. I remember that. That's so weird.
There's also to go to that. There's also a really good underrated match with I think it's on Over the Edge '98. I think it's Kai and Tai against Taka and Bradshaw, and it's actually
Michinoku and Bradshaw.
Yeah, it's a weird combination, but it's really, really amazing. Both because Taka is wrestling, people from Japan that he's wrestled a million times, but also Bradshaw, like giant Bradshaw beating the shit out of like these tiny Japanese people is really amazing.
So he was Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
He wasn't. I think he was just Bradshaw, but he was he was still doing like the cowboy gimmick. But like, yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. Like, just the moves he did back then were amazing to me, and to me now. Like watching it, like maybe a couple years later, and I'm still in awe of the shit that he did. So yeah, Taka Michinoku is awesome.
It's really unfortunate that he was there kind of in a period where like WWE like wasn't really focusing on the light heavyweights as much. Like I feel like if he was in WCW, he would have been amazing. Like he would have been considered up to the level of like your Mysterios and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Completely looking for this match on the network now, so I can watch it a little later. But yeah, sorry, I'm distracted.
Another good one, since we're kind of blanking here. It was kind of mentioned earlier. Was we have all these high flyers, but one of the best WCW wrestlers, period, was Dean Malenko.
Good for that matter, Rey Mysterio.
But with Dean Malenko, he was a submission specialist. He didn't do flippy shit. He didn't do as Dustin, all caps, once said, the flippy little boys type activities. He was more of a ground and pound submission, man of 1,000 holds.
Fists, not
man. So
there's a reason he won a PWI Wrestler of the Year in 1997. Of all people to win that award, Dean Malenko. But I mean, his matches really proved it. Like he was very, very talented.
With all the shit we give him, his matches with Chris Benoit were amazing.
Yeah. God damn it. Also,
remember Chris Benoit?
Well, but also like we mentioned I think also people like, and they assume this with a lot of cruiserweights, but the whole like, oh, they are just there for wrestling. They don't really have a personality to get across. Go watch it's one of the coolest things ever. I think it's Slamboree 98 or whatever, that cruiserweight battle royal to fight Jericho for the belts. And Cyclope wins and then unmasks as Dean Malenko. And it's the biggest pop in the world. It's so good.
Awesome. And, of course, from the chat room at live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com, we had Wheels saying psychosis, right? I remember when he took his mask off at, like, one of the one-night stands and they told him to put it back on.
Scaring the children.
Oh, jeez, kind of think he's messing with us. But El Dandy from Alex.
Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Yeah,
man.
What about Elix Skipper?
Elix Skipper. That was more TNA, wasn't it?
Well, he was the one half of the first ever WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Champion.
Oh my!
And he was in Team Canada.
Oh, okay.
So does former mascot of the show,
Norman Smiley.
Probably count.
Yes, absolutely.
He was, yeah,
And,
he was good.
and we're getting called out. No mention of Rey Mysterio. Again, remember Rey
I
Mysterio.
said Rey Mysterio.
We did mention, okay, but yeah, like old school Rey Mysterio was fantastic. Not that he's
Yeah.
not now, but he's different now, right? I mean, he's a different speed because of whatever
Not a
knee injuries
cruiserweight.
he's had and everything, but and still doing fantastic stuff. But man, like that was watching. I watched back an old Rey Mysterio, I think Dean Malenko match, and realizing how good he was doing. The crazy stuff they were doing back then was just absolutely tremendous.
Just look at his WCW stuff with Eddie Guerrero.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How
That
balls
Masters
to the wall with that was that.
that Masters title match is one of the best matches like ever. It still holds up, I think.
Juventud Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
Juve Juice.
Yes.
hmm
That
Before
was
he
just
got
one
A lot of good.
before he got coked out and ran around naked in a hotel room in Australia.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's when it got bad. I think that was WCW too. I was surprised they brought him in on
The
WWE
juice
after
was
that.
loose. Is that what you're about to say, Bobby?
The juice.
Were you about to say the juice is loose?
Yes.
No, I just said Juve Juiced.
Oh. The guys, let us know. Big question: what was your favorite Raw? I'm sorry, cruiserweight. Back in the day. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to sneeze in the middle of this
What'd you-
sentence.
What's your favorite Raw?
And realizing my next
Raw.
segment is going to be mostly me
Damn.
talking. I think Ring of Honor.
Don't sneeze.
Sure.
No groans? No groans? Oh, sinuses are
I like
not
Ring of
happy with
Honor.
me right now. Ring of Honor.
Ring of
So
Honor.
Ring of Honor was in town Friday, and it was, as usual, a fantastic show. And I talked about a little bit on the kind of AM mayhem that we're trying to do on the Facebook Live over there. So you can check out that conversation. You can check out our Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page about some impressions about that. But I talked about it there, but I happened to catch Monday morning. The Taz Show was doing a Facebook Live of their recording. And it was Taz talking with Kevin Kelly, friend of Sorgatron Media, by the way, the announcer, of course, with Ring of Honor. Has been there forever since they've been doing TV stuff, more or less. But and it really kind of like struck home like a few points. One, it was a fantastic night of tag team wrestling. Dalton Castle teaming with Jay Lethal and Colt Cabana against the Bullet Club of the Young Bucks and Adam Cole. Talked to actually Colt.
Maybe.
I talked to Colt a little bit at the beginning of the night, and I didn't realize he had not worked with Dalton Castle yet
Really?
before Friday night, and it was
Wow.
pretty fantastic.
And then on Saturday, they were literally in the same shirt.
What?
They were.
Literally.
Oh no! Oh, I need to see
There's a
that.
photo online.
Oh, I need to see that. That was fun. Of course, the boys with Dalton were actually the fraternity from IWC, so that was pretty cool. But the women's wrestling, and say Britt Kelly Klein, friends of the show, part of that with Mary Dobson, Mandy Leon, and Veda Scott, and I don't know who the sixth girl was. But great stuff there. Great matches. Realizing with that interview that the Delirious and John Gresham match did not hit the ropes or have a single strike in that match.
Wow.
That and I didn't even notice it. I was just noticing the good match, right? Just a lot of great fun stuff like that. 4-corner tag match that included War Machine with Ray Rowe, the Briscoes. I want to see War Machine and Briscoes real bad right now. That's kind of my tag team dream match there. My other tag team dream match on the Indies, by the way, is Sexy Talented Dudes in the Submission Squad. Putting that out there, IWC. Just saying. But anyways, so this is kind of my yearly Ring of Honor comes to town, and I need to give them more shots. Now, I'm not down on Ring of Honor. I don't get an opportunity to really follow along and catch the shows and everything just because of life reasons. And geez, how much wrestling are we trying to cover here? I'm doing
Lucha Underground for me.
yeah, I'm doing 3 marathons to catch up on Mutual Underground these next couple of days. Check out the events over on the Facebook page. See you Monday. And I want to sit down and watch Lucha Underground for 19 hours on Monday, in between a pay-per-view and a Raw. I'm going to hurt myself. Anyways,
Nice. So why?
that's how schedule turned out when I decided to do this. But anyways, but in the Ring of Honor show, I think Sinclair, Ring of Honor have really kind of settled into a nice spot. You know, I know we've had arguments about on the show about like how they handle things like pay-per-view weekends. So I watched whatever show was on Ring of Honor's website today. And this is the thing that turned me off was they haven't been good about posting a show rather on with regularity on there. Like I literally like not on Thursday or anything like that. I want if I tune in a week from today when I watched whatever the show episode that's on there was, I want a different episode and I'll keep following you. Like that's simple. You say watch it online, great. Give me the ability to actually watch it online with some regularity. Let me have a Tuesday Ring of Honor day and I get a new show from you. So there's that. That's fine. Just so I can follow it enough so I know what's going on. Otherwise, I'm still buying a ticket no matter what if they come into town because I know it's going to be a fantastic show. We're watching that and realizing this is a house show. This is a glorified house show for Ring of Honor. It's a Reloaded tour. They don't have any kind of fun name on it. It's you know, it's shot for DVD and on demand. That'll be up here probably in a few days or weeks or something like that. I don't know what their turnaround is these days. But it was a great, fantastic show. Yeah, there's a lot of tag matches. There's a lot of actually. I don't think a title was defended on the show. Now I think about it, because the tag teams were split up into 2 singles matches. The tag team champs and the world championship was in a 6-man tag. So. Which is fine, right? You still had a great show of wrestling. It felt like it had more weight to it than if you went to a WWE house show, right? Where you're like, oh, you know, we're going to see some WWE matches. You know, maybe a little bit of different fun stuff, but that's probably about it, right? So, again, I go to check out Ring of Honor, what's in town. Check out the show. It might be for you, it might not be. And I think it's cool to check out different talents that, can we say, inspired this Cruiserweight Classic and the NXT a little bit? The show is not as good as NXT. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Like not, and I don't want to slight like Ring of Honor for it, but it's just not. It's not as good of a cohesive show as NXT. Whether it be production level or something, which maybe just it's a lower budget show. Like take it as it's worth, you know.
They're building little by little.
It's a syndicated. It's a syndicated show, but there's still like a lot of room on there for a lot of people that are not WWE guys. And this was the impressive thing when listening to Kevin Kelly on Taz was, hey, we're building something where these guys maybe don't need to go to WWE. Like they're not going to make a truckload of money, but they're going to make enough to make a living. They can do this. They can do a bunch of other, you know, independent shows or international dates or whatever the opportunities are that fit in the purview of Ring of Honor. That makes this a nice, you know, alternative. And they have a brand. Seeing that pretty, you know, pretty nicely, not packed, you know, or anything, but it was a nice turnout at Stage AE on Friday night, and that they're doing a lot of new towns. Remember?
Wait, ROH didn't sell out?
Not a sellout, no. There's still some open seats that back there in like the back section, and then general admission was just standing. It's not like I couldn't move or anything like that. So, but still, I think a very respectable turnout for what it was. Oh, there's WWE Network starting to run on my computer over here. There goes Taka Michinoko. But anyways, you know, again, it's kind of my yearly plea to hey, check out Ring of Honor because they came to town. Oh, but yeah, that was the thing. Because typically, remember, Eamon, it seemed that the week before or after, they would hit Pittsburgh and then San Antonio almost like clockwork, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't.
I think we got another couple months until they come our way.
Right. There's a lot more dates in there. They went to Lockport, New York, which apparently is outside of Buffalo, which I think is a place that I was looking at going to an indie show while I was up there in Rochester for work. It was just a little bit too far out of the way. Like those kinds of things. I think that's pretty cool. That they are growing and that's working and they're growing. They're not They're not outgrowing. They didn't overextend themselves and have to retract like TNA's apparently in the middle of right now, right?
Oh yeah.
I know there's new news on that. Maybe we should talk about it on the show here. But I think most of those rumor speculations, mostly maybe, other than what Billy Corgan says on the internet. But I mean they're not outgrowing. They're within the confines of Sinclair Broadcasting, right? They have X amount of money to do these shows, and they have some and again, kind of working with old ideas, syndicated wrestling programming, right?
Right.
Pay-per-views, DVD sales, of course, video on demand, yes, but the model for that is interesting. Like to a point where, and I guess WWE does this, like to a certain point, going on the video on demand to be able to get shows like this Pittsburgh show. I don't know what the windowing is there either, but
Right.
but I think there's a purchase and subscription kind of window kind of thing going on. But then there's TNA, which
There is TNA.
all stories about TNA that aren't about Matt Hardy being some kind of insane genius are about how TNA is pretty much lining up to get sold. Dixie Carter
Yes.
is on her way out trying to offload it, but apparently she wants too much money from the articles I was reading today. WWE supposedly has a bid. Justin LaBar, friend of the show, it's going to be on, looks like on the Indie Mayhem show very soon again as well, saying, giving his list of reasons why TNA should not be bought by WWE or why WWE should not go out and buy them. Which are, like, what is that tape library worth? You know, do we really need those missing Sting matches, those classics?
I mean, yeah, because at that point they're buying it for the tape library.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, if it's the right price, then sure. But like, TNA is not on a level now to where they're viable competition, and it's.
And go ahead.
No, that's all I was gonna say, really.
And the fact is, going to a live show is now obsolete because of TNA.
Yeah, they don't do any live events.
No, not even just that. I mean, I'm saying going to a live taping is now obsolete because their best stuff in the past year, like it or not, happened offset with nobody watching, and you're just watching it on TV.
Right. They're just filming television, right? And had WWE tried that. WWE tried one of those. So
and then they just try to do what WWE does better, and that is put on a good live show.
Right.
Which,
right.
For the past month, they have done that. TNA has not.
Obviously the tape library, I think there's some great stuff in there. There is great stuff in there with superstars that they're using now.
It's not just Sting stuff. There's AJ Styles stuff.
AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, right? To be able to have that kind of back catalog, people that are making noise on their stage, even if it is just NXT, and be able to say, "Hey, did you like what Samoa Joe's been doing in the last 2 years of NXT? Check out all this stuff over here. Please ignore the part where he has face paint and gets kidnapped, because they did." I mean, that's or it becomes the laughable bits of, hey, check out when Samoa Joe got kidnapped and nobody cared. It came
now
back.
Now when they talk shit on the Edge and Christian show, they'll have footage behind it. Like,
so much. That was so much footage. They're already having fun with.
I'm interested to see what the bid will be, or if the rumors are true that WWE made a bid, how much the bid is. I'm interested in that.
Because aren't you in the aren't you?
Is it going to be?
Go ahead.
Over under $1 million.
What did WCW go for?
It's rumored. I think the rumor was like somewhere between $2 million to $5 million or something. Like some people say it's $10 million, and that's I think an overestimation.
But with WCW, you had all that tape.
You had more tape,
and you had a lot more quality in that tape.
But for Riz's question, I say under. Sorry, like because again, you're buying the tape library. That's what you're buying. Like, it's not worth over $1 million. I don't think.
Right.
Now, does this count with wrestlers in it, or is it just straight up tape library?
See, I don't know if like the wrestlers count.
Like under contract and all that stuff?
Because it's very weird, like with like how like if people
Because
are
they
under
like do
contract.
indie shows and all that stuff, and
Well, yeah. What are the contracts? Are you buying the contracts with it like you did with partially with WCW, or are those contracts? I don't know. Maybe we should ask friends of the show. Is your contract with at TNA Wrestling, or is it with Panda Energy? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't
Um,
think they're allowed to talk about that.
No,
though,
no,
are they?
obviously not. No, I don't
Probably
think
not.
so.
I just looked it up, by the way, for the WCW when it was bought. It was bought by the WWF. The copyrights for WWF or for WCW were bought for $2.5 million, and then shortly after Vince would then buy the tape library for $1.7 million for a total of $4.2 million.
Okay. And supposedly ECW went for maybe about $1 million,
Yeah,
if that.
And again, that has more quality than some of the TNA stuff.
Yeah,
I
there's a
don't
lot
think
of.
TNA is on the same level as ECW.
No. Like, there's not enough guys that were born out of that grew up through there. Man, the Best of Christian DVD is going to be so great now. I mean, stuff like that.
The
but-
Derek Bateman thing is going to be awesome.
Oh, jeez. Finally, we can have the best of. Oh, what was Chris Harris's name?
Brain Walker.
Brandon
Yeah.
Walker.
Best of Braden Walker can actually be a full DVD, maybe. But anyways,
Knock,
I
knock.
don't know. I think it's if it's cheap enough, WWE does it for a content grab. It's more stuff for the network. Hey, look what we got now over here. Check out this milestones, and there is a little bit of best of Samoa Joe when maybe Samoa Joe makes a jump for the main roster or something, right? I mean, you never know. Like I think it's kind of taking bets. I think when you look at some of the crazy tape libraries you do see already on WWE Network, you're like, wow, this is interesting. Like it's not what you expected. It's not a WCW. It's not an ECW, right? But
Like
it's
that indie show that with William Regal versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
It's on the network.
That's on the network.
wow.
And Samoa Joe looks very young and very in a
Because they bought random tape libraries. I know WWE's talking to some people that used to promote, that used to have schools, and looking at those tape libraries and making offers on those. Like WWE is in position, and again, yeah, they're the winners write the history, right? But the history, the winners also get to put up the museum. They get to buy up all the libraries, and they get to become it feels like they're maybe on a mission of wrestling preservation at this point, right? That's why you get interesting hidden gems like this one from like 1930 that was shot for cinema that they showed on the network in the Hidden Gems collection, right?
Yeah.
Like they maybe there is a mission in there where they feel a responsibility to make sure this doesn't go away. We're working on a project and we're having a hell of a time finding studio wrestling from Pittsburgh because it all disappeared, and that's something that they're trying to make sure that's like more of that stuff doesn't disappear. This is me with the pie in the sky, hippy dippy. I hope somebody in WWE has this kind of mission, but in the end, yeah, they make money from being the ones that have that, right, and
Right,
repurpose content.
I just think it's also important because when people were talking about this, I have the whole phrase of saying like WWE shouldn't do this. They need to stop buying their competition. They proved that doesn't work when they bought WCW and ECW. And to that I say, like, the way wrestling is now, like if WWE bought TNA, it's not a major bump. It's not a major.
No,
It's not a. It's not. I mean, it's a story, but it's not a major story. It's not a. It's not really competition. Like it's not a business changing story. It isn't gonna shake up the business.
it's almost we're buying it to make sure that TNA's tape library doesn't sit in a store for you unit in Nashville, Tennessee for the next 10 years.
Basically.
Or get thrown away.
probably Probably 5 because Dixie wouldn't pay for that.
Jeff Jarrett's gonna
And
sell.
then you see it on Pawn. You see it on Storage Wars. Anyways,
but and this is probably going to be a hot take here, but
Hot take.
But the reason why, for me, I think the only reason why WWE bought WCW was, yeah, they had that little feud, they had the invasion angle and all that stuff, but the main reason was so they can put out the rise and fall of WCW.
I don't know
That
about
was
the main
the
reason.
reason.
I don't think that's the main reason you bought a
main
library.
Reason.
No.
They wanted it for the Monday Night War DVD that they sold.
So that they can tell.
Their side of the story. No.
Their side of the
These are all.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
These are
Yes.
not. These are not the motivations. These are the net results. They're the we got this stuff. What are we gonna do? Well, the low hanging fruit is doing Monday Night Wars when we open up this network. The low hanging fruit is doing Rise and Fall of ECW and WCW. Right? Hey, we get to tell the story our way because again, we won. We are the winners. We get to write history and what that absolutely was. Right? I mean, that's what it is. It's what it is. So.
Yeah, but we won't be seeing Invasion. We won't be seeing any of that. They're just going to buy them and
there's going to be probably 1 or 2 coming from.
Yeah, you'll have an assessment, and they'll bring in a few guys that they like.
Maybe, yeah.
Like
EC3.
I'm hoping an EC3 has proven himself.
Because that's the thing, they're already doing it. They're already bringing in Bobby Roode and Eric Young.
Yeah.
Right. They don't need to buy TNA. They're already. I want to say rating. Is it really rating when you're?
Not really, because aren't some of those guys? Don't they want? Aren't they going to WWE?
Yeah. James Storm left and is now coming back again. Apparently,
He's coming back again.
Apparently.
For like a week, and then he'll go back to TNA and realize that there's nobody there anymore.
See you on Ring of Honor, James Storm. No, but geez, I feel like I'm shitting on Ring of Honor when I say that. But really, it is kind of like the extra place where.
Well, because nobody goes to those companies anymore. Like we say all the time, like, oh, when somebody leaves anywhere, there's a viable, where could they go to? They can go to so many places, and it seems now they just go to either. They leave TNA to go to WWE, or they leave WWE and they go to TNA.
Right.
For some reason, or Lucha Underground.
Has anybody made a jump from Lucha Underground, really? Like other than Del Rio, that worked out so well? Like,
again, like you said, nobody, Sorg.
No.
Not even Del Rio.
No.
Well, Mysterio, yeah, but
he left.
But it seems like still, TNA is always the destination for some reason.
Right.
Because they get the feeling that their signing will turn it around. Now with Aaron
Rex.
Yeah, whatever his name. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Damien Sandow. Will always be Damien Sandow.
He's doing this to get gigs.
It's a little bit. You can say, "Hey, I'm on TV," and demand more money and keep that up, right? Or TNA gives them a little bit more money because they're a WWE guy, or WWE or Impact does the easy thing and says, "Hey, we got this WWE guy. Look over here," and it makes some noise. It's the easy thing. But hold on a second. But I think there's also, because again, conversations, both personally and I've read with people in TNA. There's kind of a interesting creative thing happening there, and I don't know if morale's happening great, just for everything else happening with TNA, but like creative juice is happening over there that creates something like the Leader Decay and
But again, Sorg, that's not putting butts in the seats. That's not putting money in the pockets of TNA. That's making people watch TNA.
Right. But you first have to get somebody's attention and hopefully build on that. Now whether they're building off of that and actually building a brand that people are going to want to come back to or be introduced to for the first time, that's the long tail, who knows. But the initially that did its job. That absolutely did its job. Whether you like the segment or not, whether you like the fallout from it or not, the segment was successful. And you can say something with TNA has been absolutely successful. And I don't financially.
Not absolutely. It's been partially successful.
It was. I don't know financially anything like that, but the point was it got attention, right?
Yeah, but again, I'm coming back to a question that I asked at the beginning of the show. Now what?
Well, that's for them to decide. That's for them to decide.
You have our attention.
Right.
Now keep it.
And you also talk about putting butts in the seats. Lucha Underground is not interested in butts in the seats. So I think that's a philosophy you don't need to be concerned with. The Cruiserweight Classic is not about butts in the seats.
I think for Riz's point, and correct me if I'm wrong, Riz, but like butts in the seat don't always just imply like people in the crowd. I think butts in the seats also mean butts in the living room chair watching the show. Like that's what I see it. Yeah, of course they're not doing live events, so yeah, but they're not attracting a television audience either. They aren't. You know, I don't know. I just still find that it's a weird place that it's like TNA is still like the destination for a lot of people when like New Japan is really fucking hot right now. Right. And Lucha Underground, and while Lucha Underground tapes, you know, more in advance or whatever, but like, you know, there's other hotter options than TNA, but it's still like Damian Sandow's got all this momentum from leaving WWE. He's going to go to TNA. Like, okay, they just announced Brandy Rhodes signed with TNA.
I mentioned that.
And it's no, go ahead, Bobby.
What if now that Brandy's signed with TNA, if Cody also signs with TNA and then WWE buys TNA, will he be under contract with WWE again?
It's like when I left the bank for the other bank, and the bank got bought by the first bank that I left because I was pissed at them, right?
It's like. Do you remember when they bought WCW? Like a month before was when Jerry Lawler left WWF because he got mad that they fired Cat. And the plan was that he was going to jump ship to WCW. And then, like, less than a month later, Vince is like, I bought it. Like, you know, it's sad. But, yeah, I just don't get it. Wrestling is so good right now. We say this time and time again. Wrestling is so good right now across the board. Why, if you're such a hot commodity, like Damian Sandow, who was a hot commodity leaving WWE, why go to TNA?
Something's attractive. So whether it be the schedule or opportunities they're offering or something like that, keep in mind somebody like Damian Sandow and Aaron Rex came out saying, you know, maybe I won't keep doing wrestling. I have other opportunities. Right? Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys are coming out saying, man, I might do some acting. Man, I'm getting this thing's coming up, you know. It's not you leave WWE and you figure out what your next wrestling thing is. You figure out what your next thing is, right?
That's true, but I think other than Cody Rhodes, that's been the case.
And I think when we're like, why are you doing it to TNA? It just looks like you're doing nothing. You don't know what else they're working on because a lot of times these people are working on other things that you don't get to see. You know, you don't notice that unless it gets mentioned like it got name dropped tonight on SmackDown. You know Rikishi's working on a movie?
I do not.
That's a thing that's happening?
And David Otunga with Adam Sandler. Right.
Probably a Netflix movie, so I guess that kind of comes together, right? But still, like that kind of stuff, you know, just because you don't see it every week on your television doesn't mean did Bobby just look it up?
No, I just thought of The Call, too. With like Halle Berry replaced with Adam Sandler.
Wow.
Oh, jeez. But it's interesting. It's always an interesting time in pro wrestling, and I'm glad we're having a happier time with pro wrestling than we did when we started this show.
When we started this, like tonight?
No. I'm talking about 10 years ago when we started this show. So.
Remember that?
Remember Wrestling Mayhem Show episode 1?
Remember Steam Machine?
Oh, I challenge you to go listen to the first episode of Wrestling Mayhem Show and report back.
Remember that
celebration? The first? Didn't I hear like the first episode was like? Didn't somebody yell out something about Lita?
Yeah, it was like me yelling about we just saw her titty nipple.
Yes.
Because it was a live sex celebration, and I think we might have recorded it like right after Raw, because that's what I was doing back then. Yeah. Hello, Kelly Klein, Women of Honor, retweeting me.
Fingers.
All right, guys, Wrestling Mayhem Show. What did you learn from wrestling this week?
Oh
Gentlemen.
God.
Oh,
I had one. I
so good.
forgot
Oh,
it already.
no. Eamon, you learned something, right?
No. God damn it. Sorg, you go first. How about you go first? You never go first, Sorg. How about you go first?
Yes, Sorg, you go first.
You guys.
As we all think of the same.
You guys. You know what I
I
learned?
had one.
I learned one. I did learn something yesterday about comedy and pro wrestling.
Okay.
Great interview coming up with Indie Mayhem Show this week. That will be released this Thursday. It's Indie Mayhem Show 130, I think is the number. So Matt Light tells me, and Matt Light's the one that had the viral video where he stone cold stunned the Improv Pittsburgh manager, apparently. And he says, well, comedians love wrestling, like almost across the board. Like just, which, we see this a little bit, that we watch wrestling guys, the Ron Funches at Lucha Underground, Matt Light, for instance, he says there's like,
Chris Cubis has been doing a couple of Inspired Pro shows.
Right. The Jon Stewart, right? Like it's fairly like, oh yeah, they're just like guys that happy to be fans. Like, no, like most comedians like pro wrestling, about the performance, about everything like that. He gets a little deeper into it, but that was kind of an interesting revelation that makes a lot of sense, and aside from that, RVD's been doing comedy for like a while,
Yeah.
out in LA and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna have to figure. I think it's a Monday or a Tuesday night. So either way, it's going to be tough to schedule there in late November. But we'll have to get out to that one. So tickets. Hey, we're giving away 2 tickets to RVD's comedy show at the N64 No Mercy tournament that we're doing with Looking for Group in a few weeks. I believe that's on October 7th. Whatever the Friday before the No Mercy pay-per-view, which is 2 weeks from Saturday, or 2 weeks from Sunday. So it would be 2 weeks from this Friday.
Which means we'll have 3 more pay-per-views before that.
Yeah, something
and
like that.
probably
Something
an
like
NXT
that.
Special.
Yeah.
So
Take
18
over
more pay-per-views.
another CWC tournament and so much more. Big news on that. DJ Lunchbox will return.
What?
DJ
You
Lunchbox.
didn't tell me that.
DJ Lunchbox, I confirmed a couple days ago, is planning to be on hand. We are going to stream this on Twitch TV with the help of our friends at Looking for Group on their station, and we are going to attempt to commentate the tournament.
Nice.
So there you go. That's what we're doing.
Nice.
Also, if you're a Patreon by the end of the month at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show, you are eligible for half off your entry fee. So you'll be paying $5 instead of $10. I know this is super local
Good job, Bobby.
to you Pittsburghers out there, but we will be streaming. So I hope you guys will join us on the live stream as well. Hopefully we can capture that.
We should have giveaways on the live stream.
We'll see what we can do, but I don't know. That's a great idea that we should talk about off air, Riz.
So it won't cost me as much to lose.
Yes. Also giving away $100 to IndieWrestling.us, $50 for the second place for digital downloads as well. So I have stalled the hell out of this. What did you guys learn from wrestling?
I got one now. I went back and listened to Kevin Owens on Chris Jericho's podcast, and I learned.
How dare you? No, how dare you?
What?
Talking about another podcast on the show.
I want Chris Jericho.
Riz, it's different.
I learned that apparently Vince McMahon, when Kevin Owens debuted on Raw, told Kevin Owens, if anybody asks why you're here, tell them to go F themselves.
Wow.
Because he was dressed in his gear, and he went into Vince, and Vince is like, well, he's like, I don't want anybody to know why you're here, so just go around and just mingle, but don't say anything. He's like, well, I'm going to be wearing my gear. What do I say? if anybody asks me, just tell them to F off. Just classic Vince.
That's great.
That's what I learned.
That's amazing.
Also, WWE Slam will ruin your life.
Probably
We already learned.
Wait, how
that.
much money did you sink into it, Bobby?
No money. Just the stupid tap joy things.
Oh, don't do that. Don't don't do that. You don't know what you're going to walk
I
away
know.
with
No,
for something like that. Riz, what'd you learn?
I know.
I learned I can be shocked on a weekend when there's no wrestling of wrestling that's happening, and I can watch wrestling without any pants on, as the case was with Shakara.
Ah.
Shakara, if for the people who don't know, did a Facebook Live stream
Watch some of that.
of their entire night. What was it called? A Black Goodbye? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah, the Black
Yeah.
Goodbye.
The Black Goodbye. And the Drew Gulak versus Hallowicked. Just watch that match. It's pretty damn amazing.
I expect.
But there was no there were no fanfare for them streaming it. There was no month long. I didn't even know it was happening this week, the actual show, until they said, "Hey, by the way, surprise! You guys get to watch it for free," and I did, and it was amazing. Rock Lobster was there.
That's
Hermit
a
Crab.
brilliant gimmick, by the way.
Oh.
Rock Lobster.
Bobby, you need to watch Hermit Crab. He walks sideways.
Nice.
Um,
Rock Lobster is a brilliant gimmick.
Yeah, it is. They're very nice people too. But man, and it was actually like a live show. It wasn't like periscoped or shown from a phone camera. It was actually done from a switchboard.
Mm-hmm.
They switched the multiple cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very impressed by how it looked and felt. So I don't think it's up now because I think they just did it for a day. They just left it up there for a day or two. But yeah, it was a pretty darn good surprise Saturday afternoon. Oh, there's wrestling. It's on my TV.
I just want to point out, I just hit up the WWE Slam app and bought 3 different packs, and 3 times, or actually maybe 4 different packs, and 3 times got the Clash of Champions Xavier Woods with the Francesca. I am not complaining. I gotta say.
I got that one.
Yeah.
I got 2 Sashas and an Xavier.
I got a ton of them. It was great.
2 Xaviers.
Great stuff.
What are we
Great
going to
stuff.
do with all these cards?
I don't know. I'm going to put them in my
Virtual
virtual shoebox and forget about them in my virtual closet for 10 years and watch the value
I'm gonna put mine
decline.
on my virtual bike.
Eamon, what'd you learn?
I learned from wrestling this week also something from Kevin Owens. I saw a clip from a panel he was doing for something or other, where he got fan questions, and he talked about how during he gets drug tested and the only thing that comes up on the drug test is pizza. And I love Kevin Owens for that.
I remember.
He had a munch or something.
That's great. That's amazing.
I remember what my original one was.
What is it, Bobby?
I was really excited today. They released the trailer for WWE 2K Games Career Mode,
Yes.
and it stars Paul Heyman,
Yes.
and it looks amazing. And I have the game already pre-ordered. I'm super excited.
Yeah, the game actually looks really good this year.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
It does. Yeah.
I got the NXT version.
This game looks good. It's weird.
Wait, you say you're buying the NXT version?
Yeah, I got the NXT version.
They announced a bunch of DLC today.
That's
Yep.
how-
Wheels is saying
that's
that
a lot of money.
he learned that
Yeah,
the
but you get
DLC is
Autograph. And
wow. I'm sorry. Sorry for rolling over you guys. Will said the DLC is glorious, is what he learned. Alex is in the chat as well.
Which I don't think they announced Bobby Roode, but okay.
Alex also learned. Oh no, I lost it. No, that was somewhere else. Oh, that was on Facebook. That's where it was. Oh, he learned about the Facebook Live as well. They're fully capable of streaming Facebook in a professional manner. We're going to probably talk about the Facebook Live on Indie Mayhem show later this week and tonight if you're on the live stream. Guys, thank you so much. Bobby F. J. Town on the Twitter and Patreon supporter extraordinaire,
See,
of course. The Riz.
podcast.
Riz plays games on Riz plays games on the YouTube, and you do a podcast together, guys.
We do. It's the Boss Battle Podcast. Also, bossbattlepodcast.com.
Yeah, what he said.
There you go. Eamon, too, please, on the Twitter, the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling. Check out Inspire Pro.
Yes, we got a show this weekend. Screw Clash of Champions.
Wow.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's not. It's on the same day. Because that's the other thing about WWE. Like, we're going to add more pay-per-views.
Ours is called Clash of the Titans.
And
And it stars Harry Hamlin.
It's called Championships Clash.
Championships Clash. There are some. We have a champion versus champion match, so I guess that's kind of true. Yeah, you can go check it out if you're in the Austin area. TNA's Jade / Mia Yim will be there. Yeah, go check it out.
Ariza.
What?
The Austin Ariza.
Wow. Will you be dressed up as a sailor, Shaman?
I will
Guys,
not be dressed up as a sailor.
check out WrestlingMayhemShow.com and subscribe to the show. Support the Patreon. Support the show. Buy a shirt, however you want to do it, or share it with your friends. And we'll see you guys next week. Mayhem out.
I love that you kind of put like a question mark on the end of that.
Yeah.
Well, because
I didn't know
because
anything.
visually I exited on the Great Khali. So
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Sorg.
so
Yes, you
Mayhem,
damn did.
I didn't yell anything this week. I'm proud of myself.
Game over, yeah. No.
No.
$34. Man,
Good show.
Great Kelly.
yeah, good
Good
show.
show.
All
very
right.
late now.
We're
very
inviting in, but
Wait, I gotta hit it.
I need some help, guys. I need some help.
Show title?
Well, show title, and I need to help with the
Watch
rundown.
something.
So we talk about the Clash of Champions preview. Seth Rollins is full face in a work. So I'll flesh these out, but I just want the general ideas that we kind of covered.
Cruiserweights.
When could the New Day possibly drop the belts? Chris Jericho is our favorite Chris Jericho. I'll write something else. Anything else? What were some other overreaching topics?
Ladies match.
Ladies match. What about the ladies match? Ladies
Just
match
how
and
we were
Dana Brooke.
surprised
How we're back on the TNA Death Watch.
No, that's
No,
later.
but-
I'm just talking about the Clash of Champions part.
Oh.
Anything else on Clash of Champions?
think
We
that's
talked Roman.
Oh, yeah, we're talking
What
about
about Roman? That Roman Reigns
Roman out of the main title picture.
makes
We were excited about the match.
for our U.S. title is great.
Championship match?
Cruiserweights on Raw we talked about.
Yeah.
Big question about the cruiserweights. We talked about Ring of Honor, and
TNA.
you should too. TNA back on Death Watch or Assimilation.
Or deletion.
On Deletion Watch.
Delete.
And what we learned. Okay, I should be able to get from that. What about for a title?
Machka something.
Yeah.
Remember Machka?
Machka something.
Machka something, yeah, I like that.
Okay.
MACHKA.
All
Just so you know.
Yep,
caps.
I got it.
Machka.
All caps, Sorg.
Should
Is
be
there a question
something.
mark?
Three exclamation points.
No, that doesn't work with formatting. So okay, that should work. All right, let's figure out what we're doing
right.
for indies.
I'm going to go to bed.
Me too.
Good for you. Sleep is not an option here. You know what
Have
we
you guys
do,
heard anything?
Riz? You know what we do? We pod hard at Sorgatron Media. Okay, we are turning it up. Do you think I have time to sleep? To consider such a thing
Sorg-
as sleep?
Sorgatron Media is the Andrew WK of podcasting.
We're gonna pod hard. We're gonna pod.
Pod hard.
We're gonna pod hard.
Night.
I love this GIF. It
Good night,
says
everybody.
somebody tweeted it out when you and your friends realize a new kid in school is cooler than y'all, and it's Finn Balor walking in front of everybody and just popping his collar.
Oh yeah, and then Seth. Is it the one on Raw where Seth Rollins pulls that face?
Yeah, he's like, what?
All right, guys. Good show.
Yeah, good show, guys.
Good
Any
show.
updates on Friday yet?
What?
Oh,
Friday?
yeah.
Oh, that's what's happening Friday. Well, that's on my schedule. Okay. I was
Yeah.
worried. I was worried I might have
I'll let you
double
know
booked
about
something.
things.
I think-
Pokemon Go hunting and possible dinner.
Okay.
I do kind of want to hit up the exchange.
Okay.
There's one down there. What?
You can get Funko Pop.
No. Shut your face, Riz.
You can get
Leave
Funko
me alone.
You're gonna get Funko Pop.
Leave me alone.
You're taking a Funko Pop from Pittsburgh to Johnstown.
You think?
By the way, there was one at Walgreens. It was the Charlie Brown, but with a mask.
Oh yeah, those are the Peanuts holiday ones. The Peanuts ones are were on GameStop's website for like $1 or something.
So that's not that good. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
See ya.
Bobby's gonna leave his on it and just go to sleep right there.
It's like
Then I wake up.
one of these days I'm just gonna turn on Facebook Live and just fall asleep in my recliner and just see how many hits I get by the morning.
Hey, I did that with like 19 or with like
Yeah.
3 hours to go.
Yes, you did.
I was like, 20 minutes left.
And we all yelled at once.
So
Riz!
you guys are gonna have to keep an eye on me on the Lucha Underground.
My cat
stream.
really wants in here. Locked her out.
I know some of you guys got day work, but just check in on my stream on the phone. Just keep an eye on me.
I'm gonna try to make it in at 6.
All right, I got your name on it.
Thing.
I'm waiting for Mike to call out his times. So,
All right, night, guys.
all
Have a
right,
good show.
Alex, where you
Yeah.
at? Alex, well, I guess we could go ahead and do the beginning of the show at least.
The intro part, yeah.
So, Alex, if you come in quiet. All right. Intro. I still have the Patreon in the corner. You think that's okay for this show?
Yeah.
I mean, it's for the that works. We get enough Patreons on the main thing. I mean, it will eventually support this show. So,
Right.
hey guys, it is the Indie Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter and Mayhem Studios here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ready to talk independent pro wrestling and a little bit of comedy. I'm, of course, a video producer with the Renegade Wrestling Alliance, International Wrestling Cartel, and the purveyor of IndieWrestling.us, your indie wrestling superstore. Eventually. Also with me is the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling. He is Eamon Payton.
Hello, Sorgatron. Very excited to join you once again this week.
I miss the sailor outfit, but I like this picture of you.
Side note, it's not a sailor outfit. It was just my normal suit, but with a sailor hat on. Keep in mind.
Well, it complemented it very well. But if you're not on the video version of this, we have a picture of Eamon from the exact thing that we talked about last week. His scary moments in the middle of the ring doing the ring announcing. So I think it works well for you. It works very well for you.
Professional.
Exactly. Professional as hell. But this is, like I say, you can check us out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You subscribe to this and so many other shows over there. A lot of great articles, a lot of other great stuff and interviews. Not just this. We're getting Krista Joseph a good, he's a regular basically on Midweek War when we're talking about Lucha Underground and other shows, actually. You can drop us a line at 412-206-WMS0 or goodtimes at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And of course, you can join us here. We do record the Wrestling Mayhem Show and a little bit of this show live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com starting Tuesdays at 10 p.m. if you want to jump in on the chat room and the wrestling discussion. But we also are doing plenty of interviews like the one that we're showing tonight. We are pre-recording them various times. You will see Facebook events whenever available on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group. So you can drop in for those if you would like, including tonight. We're talking with Matt Light, the comedian. Well, there's a lot of stuff that this guy's been into. He is a wrestling fan, and we'll get into that right now. I don't want to over-explain stuff going into it because I think I get into all those things that I was trying to explain. So, Alex, where are you at?
So have you heard of have you seen you've seen that picture from the first NXT takeover at Brooklyn, that female fan that brought that sign that said "Face fuck me, Finn"?
Wait, what?
Have you seen that?
Where was that?
She was in like the cheap seats at the first ever NXT takeover,
Huh.
Brooklyn.
Huh.
But I found her Instagram.
Is she interesting?
Her title on Instagram is "Face fuck me, Felicia." So she's famous for this. I guess she's famous apparently for bringing signs that are
inevitably confiscated.
There's a picture of her. Well, apparently not. There's a picture of her standing next to a guy who wanted to get a picture with her with his sign that said "Nia, jack me off."
Wow.
And then apparently at this past takeover, she brought a revival sign that says "No flips, just fist me."
Wow. You know, I feel like obviously this is a widespread thing, but I feel like Finn Balor kind of would attract that goth weird crowd a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Oh God! And they brought a sign apparently that's glorious, but with 2 holes. Like the sign has 2 holes in the O's. Oh no!
Oh boy!
I don't like this trend.
All right, Alex is on a call. He's a very important person, so we're just waiting.
Oh my God! This is ridiculous.
What?
He has other ones for Finn Balor. I can't say these. I literally can't say these.
I don't
so
feel
bad.
on all the things we say on this show, and these are the things you feel uncomfortable about.
They're really inappropriate. If you want to follow her on Instagram, she's Felicia Rose on Instagram.
I want to follow her from the Wrestling Mayhem Show account. What's her name? Felicia Rose?
Felicia Rose, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go to Instagram. Gonna go to Mayhem Show. Gonna go look for. I'm horrible with our Instagram, by the way. All one word?
Yes.
Face fuck me, Felicia.
Yep.
Let's see, there we go. Bang.
She also made a Cody Rhodes inspired bucket list called the Fuck It List.
Oh, she looks fascinating.
Wow.
Oh, Silver Bullet Club. That's clever. That's clever. Finn's nudes greater than Seth's nudes.
Yep. She has a bull fit one oh my God, she brought a bull fit one to a House of Hardcore show where Bull James was wrestling that says, "I hope bull fits down my throat." And Bull gave her a kiss. Oh, that's the worst.
Do you think she's full on ring rat or just playing at ring rat?
I don't know. Like, some of this seems like parody.
Yeah.
But, like, not. Like, wow. She's like the female version of, like, those really awful male wrestling fans when it comes to female wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. She calls herself the People's Tramp. She has an Etsy shop. And it all comes together.
What is this?
Are you...
Someone sent her some fan art of her holding the "Face F Me Finn" sign with her with a thought bubble of sperm that has the demon makeup on it.
That's funny. That's funny. That's actually funny.
This is so weird.
She has Tales of the Ring Rat Trap Queen.
Oh
Like a poster with her as like a rat. Wow. Wow. That's, you know what, man? There's a team hashtag FFM Think tie-dye shirt you can buy. Man, I guess so.
Well, this is hey, Alex is here.
Well, yeah. Here's the face fuck me Finn. Give me your demon semen T-shirt.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. That makes Dean Ambrose. That makes Dean Ambrose fans seem tame.
She must make her parents feel proud.
Wow.
Hang on.
Great relationships with dad. And so they had a. I didn't talk about this in the show, but so the bell ringer for the night on Ring of Honor was a IWC trainee. I know from the shows, and I talked to her on Saturday night about it because, it's a music venue, so there's a stage, so it's one of those weird kind of NXT stage venue setups, right? For the most part. So instead of putting the set on the stage, it's off on the side somewhere, and the stage is just where they put commentary. So Carino and Kevin Kelly are up there,
Right.
and the bell ringer and the announcer, right, and timekeeper, which is the announcer, I guess. But so she's up there and she's like, yeah. So I didn't figure on being so exposed, and I didn't want to screw anything up, and I didn't want to look bored. So I'm just like massively paying attention to the match or trying to make it look like it and trying not to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, that sounds horrible.
I feel her pain sometimes.
She's actually in this the V for Veda, Veda Scott's Instagram. She's in the background, like of the picture of the throne. Hello.
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 Do you hear background noise?
No.
No.
Sick. Okay. Because I'm not the only one in here tonight, so. But I really wanted to get on to talk about this. I was like,
Do. There's something happening in the background. Are you able to tilt it up a little bit? Because you have like some spotlights directly behind you.
Yes.
All right. I know it's not going to be perfect, but do what we can.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're not the Riz. Let's see. What do you want me to plug on the bottom? Chikaran 15?
Yes, because that's going to be the primary thing I talk about.
All right, we've done the straight intro, so
okay, give me a second. I'm going to work on my mic real quick. See if I can toggle some settings around.
Okay.
So the background isn't quite as bad.
If there's any section where you're not doing a lot of talking, because there is some stuff going on in the background apparently.
Then I'll ride the mute button.
Yeah, lay on the mute. All right, let me know when you're ready. We'll get into it. We'll talk about this. Ring of Honor I mostly talked about. Eamon, you have a show coming up, so we'll roll into a plug for that. I can't think if there's anything significant from IWC I should talk about, other than it happened.
Oh, I was just going to talk about maybe what that means for indie wrestling moving forward. Because I know you said you had that there was some stuff you kind of toyed around with IWC.
Right. Well, and I'm talking about the production and what we've moved away from on there, but maybe this is an idea to move back. No,
that's fine. I was just gonna because my idea is the thing I want to talk about is how close are we to seeing more
indie companies doing something like Chikara,
Yeah.
where they actually did like their full on produced show.
Yeah, let's roll. Let's roll with that then. We'll go straight into that conversation.
Cool.
So, all right, guys, ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Alrighty. Thank you so much to Matt Light. Check him out on the Rob Van Dam comedy tour coming to your town here in the Northeast, and the other dates he was talking about as well. Keep an eye on them online for the latest on that. So we have a little bit of a conversation here for the more indie part of the Indie Mayhem show. On the line with us, of course, Eamon Payton is still with us as well because he sat through that entire interview and got educated on comedy and wrestling. But also with us from California, not the other California that we usually represent on the show, but Alex Kars of ChikaraIn15.com has joined us on the show. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Coming in from Studio M tonight. A lot of fun. Looking forward to talking about some indie wrestling.
Awesome. And so a big thing happened this past weekend with Chikara and Facebook Live. We talked about it a little bit in the what we learned on Wrestling Mayhem show tonight, but I think we want to get a little deeper on what are, I guess, the prospects of this. What does this mean? What can we do with this? What can indies do with this? Tell us a little bit about what you experienced and your initial thoughts on it.
Right. Well, I'll just start off by saying I'm probably going to be gushing over this whole thing because I thought it was amazing. So basically, Chikara had a wrestling show from the Wrestle Factory. It's sort of home base out in Philadelphia this past Saturday. All right, Goodbye. That was the name of their recent show. And they did a little bit of an interesting thing where they tested a different kind of live stream. Instead of just live streaming from their Chikaratopia service, they actually live streamed on their Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking like the kind of Facebook Live that you see in some shows where it's like, oh, here's like a little clip from a match or something, or like, stuff like that. I'm talking like they did the kind of show you would expect to watch, probably close to a final cut of what you would probably find about a month or so to be fully released. They did that on Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm.
Like cameras, multiple cameras, screen graphics, the whole shebang, so to speak.
And this is something, I don't know if you've seen some of the stuff that I've been doing on our Facebook pages for Wrestling Mayhem Show, but this is something that if you can do live switching, which obviously they were already doing streaming for Chikaratopia, right? They have the capability of Facebook. It does not take much to do that if you have the technical capabilities to stream otherwise. We can do it here with our Wirecast setup here. The setups that I was doing most recently for live streaming for IWC and RWA had that capability. We just weren't anywhere where internet was useful, so we couldn't apply any of this kind of stuff. But it has lowered the barrier. Certainly. Now Chikara is a company that's doing a video game. Yes, they're doing Indiegogo, but still, like, they're in a position to do a video game. They have comic books. They have a lot of merchandising that they're doing, and a fantastic fan base that we got to see in person at King of Trios. But I think you may see other promotions maybe try this. I can't say that we're going to do it on our end. I mean, there's a lot more logistics. Like when you're at a old school building in the middle of Royal Valley, PA, an hour out of town, your options are fairly limited. And and we do live streaming with our some of our colleagues in non-wrestling endeavors around here, and usually in the city, where it's a place with some technology behind it, and even then you still have some problems, right? So, I don't know. Have you seen a lot of either of you seen a lot of companies do this where they do just hold the phone up for a bit for a match?
Yeah, I've seen it before. I've seen it before, and we've actually thought about doing it before for Inspire, like through like Periscope and stuff like that, like kind of exploring, just in case of like trying to explore new mediums as far as getting your show out there and getting more exposure, so to speak. I'm glad to see that it was executed in this way though by Chikara, and that it was executed seemingly really well. They seem to be doing a really good job when it comes to that kind of stuff, and it's great to see because I mean I don't even think it was that long ago where I think the constant talk when we talked about indie wrestling was about, the whole idea of like that period where everyone was doing iPay-per-views and they were of very mixed results when it comes to quality and when it comes to, execution. You still see problems today in certain companies with like iPay-per-views and stuff like that, unfortunately. But it's great to see a company like Chikara really kind of do it well and really execute to a way that is of a certain level of really good quality.
Certainly, certainly. Yeah, and now, and internet is more prevalent. Of course, there are options to do it over cell, but again, that's expensive depending on your data plan and service, and the reliability becomes an issue as well. But if it's just that you're kind of throwing it up there, that's kind of an okay, acceptable thing. It's not like like the iPay reviews. You're not saying, hey, pay us $10 to watch the show. And it kind of worked, right? It's a hey, we're gonna, maybe you broadcast the first like two, the opening curtain matches, right? Just to be like, hey, look, check this out, kind of like a raw or a pay per view pre show version of something, so you can have something out there and let people see, hey, this is what you're missing, right?
Right.
So I mean, even I was looking over because RWA has a show this weekend, but they typically have a match, and without fail, they'll have kind of an interview segment that kind of sets up the main event, whatever's going on for the rest of the show. Like that could be something you include a little bit, right? Maybe up through that point on a Facebook Live kind of situation. So I mean, again, not giving a lot away, but maybe even if you watch that, be like, I should go pick up that digital download in a few days when it comes out, right? Yeah, I think Chikara is one that's been really working at it, and I think that the difference is they're very dedicated to it. And I think there's a lot of companies. I mean, we struggle with this because we're not the primary, kind of media people. We do the shows, we do the videos, and we're trying to support the social media around pushing the videos of the shows. But there's not a holistic, concerted effort by a lot of indies because they don't have the money to pay somebody to do the social media, right? Eamon, I know you are kind of like one of the main guys that does a lot of that stuff with Inspire. So there is a little bit of a concentration happening there, right? Everything just seems like kind of scattershot with a lot of these other guys.
No, I agree. There's more of certain companies, I'm not just going to name Inspire, but I think companies like, IWC and others like that have a more consider it more of a focus in building social media and building that kind of traction in that way, and other companies don't, and some of them are just as successful. But I think that it's an extremely important tool. That if I don't know, it's a tool where it comes to with such everyone has Twitter, everyone has Facebook at this point for the most part. So if you're not utilizing those tools, I feel like it's just really like a cause lost. And great in for Chikara for finding new ways to utilize those tools other than, and I think that's what I've been trying to do, especially with Inspire, is just trying to find new ways to get our name out there a bit more.
Certainly.
Yeah, just to kind of add to that, I was going to say the biggest thing about any social media thing like that is just exposure. You're just trying to get the promotion's name out there. And I think whether it's in a little local indie company doing a quick Periscope or a Facebook Live of just a little bit of their thing, or Chikara showing their actual show on Facebook, I think it's all just a matter of showing what your promotion is capable of.
Right.
And so, I just think I love what Chikara did. I like what the local indie companies do because at least it's something to get your name out there. And I think even like wrestlers themselves, I've been noticing more and more Periscope or Facebook Live of like some of the people that I follow on Facebook that are wrestlers. You know, more of them are doing like live Q&A, you know, just kind of on their way to a show or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a chance to interact with your fans. And I think the same can be done with promotions.
I want to point out, friend of the show, Joe Dombrowski's been doing a Q&A this evening on Facebook about the new promotion he's working with in Cleveland. About who do you want to see there? What's going on? You know, from the looks of things. So I mean, that's I love seeing that people are getting smarter and utilizing this kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from this. And also there is a consideration and there has to be a confidence in your product. I think some people are maybe a little delusional about what their product is. Yeah, we do this wrestling show and we're gonna put it on DVD and we're gonna sell a bunch. It's like, you gotta look objectively about what you're doing. Like, I don't think objectively an RWA can't compete with a Jakara or anything like that. It's also a different audience, right? And that, again, that's a thing that we've been trying to work around for a while. It's a good product. It's not a product for, I don't want to say the masses, but you know, how do you grow that? You know, what are you aiming for on something like that? You know, or is it just a niche thing that works really well in West Newton? You know, you know, they are doing some fantastic things that I think are have you know, potential, you know, outside. I think I recommend anybody checking out the Sanjay Dutt, Amazing Red, Gory, Shane Andrews stuff that's been happening there, right? But again, it's you know, utilizing that platform and what are your goals? Is it sales? Is it exposure? Is it YouTube hits? Is it getting people in chairs? And what does that do when I'm literally seeing sales for these guys in China and Japan and the UK? That doesn't put butts in seats, but those virtual butts in seats we're kind of talking about on Wrestling Mayhem show this week too. So it's a very interesting trick, and everybody's got to find their version of it. AIW, I think, does a good job of it. Inspire Pro, Chikara does a good job of it. IWC, I think, is finding their footing in that right now. Exactly, like what, especially since they're a year and a half into a new regime, so that regime is figuring out what the identity of this is now, and how do we utilize certain things. And they got some good minds in there too. So I'm not one of them. So speaking of, a lot of great stuff happening this weekend. Speaking of the RWA, the Renegade Wrestling Alliance, RWALive.com. They're having their show this weekend. This is the Fall Free for All, and I know that a lot of friends of the show, some people jumping ship from IWC popping up, like a Marshall Gambino, who I'll talk about IWC in a moment as well. There's a name I'm not familiar with this name, but it looks like he's been around a bit. Sean Schultz is going to be debuting in the main event against Shane Andrews.
Nice. I know he's also competing on the upcoming. I saw his name on the upcoming AIW show. So
yes, he's with AIW. There's some pictures of him with Global Force Impact Wrestling. So a guy that's definitely been getting around, making a name for himself. I'm looking forward to see what he can bring against a guy like Shane Andrews. So that should be pretty good. You know, great stuff. Daniel Eads is a guy to watch out for. He'll be taking on Akuma, not that Akuma from Chikara, who tweets a lot during Raw, by the way. So, and actually, Sanjay Dutt will be there teaming with Generation Dead against Super Hentai Marshall Gambino and their mystery partner. So, looking forward to that. That's this weekend in West Newton, PA, RWALive.com. Only $15. It's a nice, cheaper show in comparison to a lot happening in the area. So, Eamon, you have Inspire Pro Wrestling happening this weekend.
I do. We got our next event, our Fade to Black 2 event, this weekend in Austin, Texas. That's Sunday, the 25th. It should be very fun. We've got a lot of really cool stuff coming ahead, including a champion versus champion main event of two friends of the show, Ricky Starks, the Inspire Pro champion, taking on the Pure Prestige champion Keith Lee, who you may have seen on recent episodes of Ring of Honor Wrestling. That should be a very big match, and a match I think it's going to be a big culmination of things. Also, TNA's Jade, aka Mia Yim, will be there. She's making a return for us, and we're very excited to have her on that event as well. And there's more information over at Twitter at InspireProRes and our website, InspireProWrestling.com. That's this Sunday. And then 1 month from then, on the October 29th, is Battle Wars. It's right around the corner, and that's our big event featuring some of the stars of Chicago Pro Wrestling. I'm sure news about that event will be coming out very soon regarding some of the talents that will be there and some of the matches. And yeah, we're very excited for that as well. Also, speaking of new ways to promote companies that we were kind of discussing, go to our YouTube page over at youtube.com/InspireProVideo. We've released some kind of previews for some upcoming matches for this Sunday, some promos and stuff like that. So it's a good way to go check us out over there. And there's also an event I think is important to plug from somebody we've had on the show before not too long ago. Our good friends at AIW Excellent Intense Wrestling have an event this Friday, the 23rd, which is the farewell event for Johnny Gargano. His final match on the independent scene before going full time for WWE. The main event is Johnny Gargano in a 2 out of 3 falls match against his new wife, Candice LeRae, or I guess Candice Gargano. That'll be amazing, surely. It's going to be it has the makings of being a really special night, particularly. I know Gargano is extremely important to not just AIW, but Cleveland wrestling and that whole kind of scene in general. So it should be very, very interesting for that night. And that's this Friday, the 23rd.
Great night of wrestling. It's going to be a party. I say him posting that his family and friends are all going to be there. I really wish I could make it up for it, but just not going to be able to make that Cleveland drive. But go check it out if you're able to. It's the last chance to see him. Free.
Well,
not free, but like free from WWE, of sorts.
Free from the man,
and be able to go wrestle his wife. So looking forward to that. Maybe that'll be worth picking up on DVD here or Smart Mark Video or wherever those guys are. All right, guys, thank you so much, Alex Cars, Chikaran15.com. That's a thumbs up.
That's a thumbs up. Sorry. Chikaran 15, I'm going to be working on new episode this week. Also on a new episode of Occupy Pro Wrestling podcast where I will finally, Sorg, I'm finally going to get that interview that we did back in May up for the world to hear. It'll be amazing. I'm also glad Eamon brought up the Inspire Pro show that's coming up this weekend because Pick'em League is finally back up and running for Occupy Pro Wrestling, and Inspire Pro is one of the promotions that I keep track of. So
nice.
Keep an eye out for the email and Tumblr posts on that.
Go check it out. And, of course, InspireProWrestling.com for Eamon. Hear his voice on Smart Mark Video and those YouTube matches they got up.
Yes, indeed. That's a great way to hear my voice. Go check it out.
And, of course, IndieWrestling.us for all the things that we produce from Sorgatron Media. And you can find some IWC and RWA across highspots.com, smartmarkvideo.com as well. So from that, it's the Indie Mayhem Show. Thank you so much. WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Support indie wrestling. That is a freaking show. I actually had sent, because I honestly didn't watch much of the video, but I keep seeing the image of your backstage interview segments from Inspire with like the Inspire like logo board in the back.
Oh yeah, that's new. Yeah.
I kicked that to Mr. Plummer. I says, "Hey, we need one of these." Because
that was new. So yeah.
Go to your local FedEx office.
Yeah.
Basically,
because they're doing videos for.
Support your local.
They're doing like the backstage interview things, and they have a new guy doing it. And I know he was like using a really horrible low res like camera to begin with, and they're very like he's throwing like it's one of those things. It's like when plumbers start, like he's learning how to do it now, but unfortunately that's a big dip in quality. In the meantime, it's like, oh man, but everything else is doing so good. And he's doing great with them. It just like he just doesn't have any of the bells and whistles on it. You know what I mean? So,
right.
And that's up to him. But it's still again that that cohesive thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, and unfortunately, most of that effort is volunteer, and you can only I don't know. Like, not everybody's going to be on mission, or people are going
You
to
can only
fade
go
out.
so far on volunteer.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a job for a lot of people, or people say I'm doing this job and that's it, but there's not that. Hey, somebody needs to do this, and it's like, yeah, but who? So that's the dance, man. Which is the conversation with a lot of things that I work with. So,
Yeah.
we're working people on a podcast. We're working people on a website, on a new startup company, or anything of the like. It's all the same conversation. Everybody needs to be all on mission, all on task, all on the same task, and all have the same goals. And sometimes that just doesn't jive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then the
All right.
then the
Sorg,
promoter's
thank you
building his
for
own
having
ring.
me.
What?
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man.
On.
Thanks a lot. Stream, thank
I'll-
you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next time.